cloud dance corner of the mouth sneer at a glance. Qing Feng, don't seek to die, will not die. Now it seems that he is seeking to die. Zhou Badian saw the counterattack of Dragon Qing Xie, and his fierce eyes were suddenly surprised. He has been hiding his strength. For more than 10 years, even he has been cheated. What the hell does he want to do? The cold light of Zhou Baishan's eyes flickered darkly. It seems you have some strength, too. Qing Feng glances at Dragon Qing Xie. Although he disdains, he is surprised that he has purple talent. Dragon Qing evil smell speech, that black fight under the cape of the lip bloodthirsty hook, hoarse voice die with a sense of arrogance, enough to fly your strength. Enough to fly him. What a arrogant tone. Qing Feng smell speech face instant iron green, a black sword suddenly appear, gloomy way, seek death. The dark black sword exudes a strange light, even the breath on Qing Feng seems to be integrated with the black sword. Dragon Qing Xie looks at the black sword, his eyes slightly narrowed. It's a black sword made of black iron. As soon as his bloodthirsty light came up, an épée appeared in his hand and collided with the black sword. Bang! There was a sonorous echo. Qing Feng's eyes flashed a little surprised, and he tried his best to hold the black sword, so as not to throw it away. But soon, Qing Feng's face suddenly changed. That strike collided, and the strength of black sword actually ate him back. Qing Feng coagulates the dragon to pour evil, and the eye light flashes a color of horror. What did he do? Mo Yebing, who has been sitting, sees the épée in the hand of Long Qingxie, and the dark eyes are sweeping the strange cold light at the moment. It's him. No wonder he felt that his breath would be so familiar. It's him. What have you done? Qing Feng burning angry eyes, a cold, black sword pointed to the dragon Qingxie asked. Long Qingxie sneered and said, can't you see it? That's strong, in the early days of Wusheng. The last 2 words, it seems that deliberately increased a few points. Qing Feng smell speech, the anger in the eyes is more obvious, that anger seems to burn to the black sword, suddenly the black sword also hazy pan with a touch of fireworks. In an instant, the breath around Qing Feng changed strangely, the figure trembled, and the wood property attacked instantly. As soon as the sneer of Dragon Qing Xie's eyes passed by, a green light rose in his body. He was fighting with wood. Qing Feng water attribute, he also water attribute. He is a native, and so is he. It's like provocation, it's like mockery, it's like fun. And the people under the stage saw their way of fighting, they were too stunned to speak. How many attributes does he and he have? Isn't he rubbish? Is it hidden strength? Shouldn't it be the same as Miss Yun Jiajiu just now? Is it the same with 7 attributes? God, what's the matter with these 2 people? Suddenly, Long Qingxie seemed to be tired of playing, and a bloody light rose from the corner of his mouth. In an instant, the 5 elements come out together, condensing all their strength on the épée, winding the purple fighting spirit, and waving it in the air. Bang! With a loud noise, the whole challenge arena split into 2. Long Qingxie and Qing Feng are 1 and half. And at this time of Qing Feng, eyes in addition to surprise or horror. I saw that the black sword in his hand was divided into 2 parts by the qi of the sword. Half of the black sword was in his hand, with blood on it. It was left on his shoulder. He was cut by the blow just now. At the moment, his shoulder is open, and his white robe is stained with a large amount of blood. The blood is still flowing out. Ferocious and bare-faced Qing Feng glanced at the dragon, but his eyes were shocked and deep. The strike of Long Qingxie just now combined 5 attributes and his own fighting spirit. He thought he could take his strike, but now the result is his strength really above him? No way. He didn't believe that there was anyone in the world who had more talent than him. He is the first one to break through the martial arts sage in less than 30 years. It's absolutely impossible for anyone to be more talented than him. It's absolutely impossible. Qing Feng's eyes became more fierce, and the darkness in his eyes was a little bit more. This time, I'll take your life. Do you have the ability to take it? Dragon Qing evil mouth bloodthirsty smile, I light inside flit a touch of uninteresting. Such arrogant and conceited people waste their strength in vain. Then you can see if I have the ability. His voice just fell. Suddenly, Qingfeng's figure suddenly flickered, and in an instant, 6 illusions appeared around Longqingxi. Phantom. The cloud dance under the stage frowned slightly, and the light of eyes flashed a little bit of surprise. These 6 illusions have the same breadth and strength as the Numenon, and they can't tell which is the real Numenon. But the strength is equal to that of 6 people. She had never seen such a mirage. The strength of the 6 martial saints in the early stage was 6-1. Cloud Dance looks at the dragon to pour evil, the Mao light passes a touch of worry. I don't know if this man can handle it. Long Qingxia's eyes dropped and his smile swept the 6 figures in front of his eyes. The bloodthirsty smile at the corner of his mouth seemed to be gradually deepened and added a lot. Suddenly, a shadow came. Just at the moment of Dragon's evil hand, another figure came at a gallop. Want to give him a double click? As soon as the dragon's evil eyes narrowed, his purple fighting spirit condensed, and his feet moved. He took a quick hand to solve one problem in an instant. However, it was at the same moment. Brush. He suddenly felt the wind whistling in his ears, and his figure leaped in the air in an instant. It was still a step late. The black dosha on his head floats in the wind, showing off a perfect radiant and a sound of cool air under the stage. The burned face, pockmarked and uncovered, showed itself in front of everyone. How ugly, is this the true face of Long Shitzi? No wonder they wear black gauze all day long. It's really ugly. People like this don't find a way to get in. At the beginning, he was still shocked by the strength of the dragon, but at this time, he was completely frightened by the appearance of his black dosha. One after another, the sound of disgust spread all of a sudden. Cloud Dance listened to the public's discussion, lazy eyes swept a frost, the sharp smile of the corner of the mouth also hook up. Not only did people talk in whispers, but Zhou Feiyu and Shengguan were stunned for a long time when they saw his face. Although we all know that he was disfigured, we didn't think it would be so serious. A face with edges and corners is beyond recognition now. Even the lips are half burned. Isn't he the evil man? How can such a face be under the black dosha? Is this his face changing? Or is that what he is? Otherwise, why do you dare not show your true face all the time? Zhou Feiyu looks at the dragon and looks back at the Cloud Dance. Although he can't express any opinions to him around her, it doesn't mean he won't think. If the true face of the Dragon 3 is really this face, he will feel some terrible and ferocious after seeing it. Does she really have no feeling at all? Think of her slouching on his shoulder, think of her kissing him. Somewhere in Zhou Feiyu's heart, there was some nameless anger. However, there was a ripple in Shengguan's lazy eyes. However, when he saw Yunwu sneer, he soon retired. The person she chooses, he seems not qualified to say anything. What's more, he always felt that the Dragon 3 was not simple. Perhaps, his face in front of him was just a mask. Because the evil man who followed her in the forest before, if it was not the Dragon 3, would the evil man give her to other men? Think about it, the Shengguan heart seems to have some mirror up. In addition to the Cloud Dance, there seems to be another one that is the quietest, with no change in the look. That's Nanganji. In his eyes, it seems that all the camouflage does not exist, just like the original Cloud Dance. No matter how easy she is, it seems that she can't escape his eyes. Long Qingxia, Long San, and even that little dragon, in his eyes, he always saw a person. Now, how could he be surprised? On the ring. Qing Feng, who lives in the mirage, sees the face of Dragon 3. His eyes suddenly stagnate. It seems that he can't believe it. His body suddenly freezes. And it's this stiffness that gives Dragon Qingxia a goal. Dragon Qingxia's bloodthirsty smile suddenly deepened. The ape roared through the sky and circled. The fierce sword chi rubbed against Qing Feng. Qing Feng just glanced at the ape, but he was not in a hurry. His body was like being hit by a huge stone, and he had no resistance to let the sword chi lead him to roll. Colliding with pillars, splints, stones, intense unbearable pain, let that Qing Feng pain hum a voice. Poof! But a mouthful of blood is sprayed out. Dragon Qing evil bloodthirsty eyes, looking at the distant figure on the ground, the radiant of the mouth continues to expand. In the second game, he won. Everyone looked at the Qing Feng who was hit by a blow and couldn't get up anymore. The light in his eyes changed slightly, and the surprised eyes coagulated that ferocious face. With one move, Qing Feng was hit dozens of meters away. How powerful was his blow? How strong is this man? Is he allowed to play with Wu Sheng? However, no one knows. Just that blow, for a man, it really didn't even work. Long Qingxie takes back his eyes, takes the épée back to the space, and the deep eyes ponder for a moment. He raises his eyes and puts his eyes on Mo Yibing. After that, Long Qingxie jumped down from the challenge arena in full view of the public and walked towards the position of the leader of Longshu Kingdom. There is no one to stop. Because, as everyone knows, Long Shizhi, although he is now the exchange son of the Zhou dynasty, is also the third prince of the state of Longsu. As for the status, that is the second. Long Qingxie went to the position in front of the seat and took a look at the Lord of Longshu, his so-called Father Emperor. Master, how do you think the spirit of the Lord is not good and his face is not good? Dragon Qing evil eyes light dim, sword eyebrow a pick, ask. Mo Ye's icy eyes look directly at Long Qingxie. He exposes his strength in public and makes him discover his identity. Now he comes up to ask in public. I really don't know what medicine he bought in the gourd. The old disease of the Lord recurred and he was in a bad state. I'm worried about Long Shizhi. It seems that the warmth of the whole Nirvana cloud platform has dropped a few points. Long Shizhi. The national master deliberately called out the title, as if to remind Long Qingxie that it was the exchange son of the Zhou dynasty. However, Long Qingxie's mouth was raised, and the book's ferocious face was even more ferocious. If so, I know a little bit about medicine. Why don't you let me treat the old diseases of the Lord? With that, Long Qingxie wanted to explore his hand. Ink Night Ice but hand a stretch, stop the hand that Dragon Qing evil wants to probe to come over. Don't bother Long Shizhi. I've already looked for the Imperial Doctor. Ink Night Ice has been calm eyes, cold as prison breath coagulation, speculate on the purpose of Dragon Evil. Yes? Seeing that the Lord is still in such a state, it can only be said that the Imperial Doctor of Long Shugua only eats dry food. Long Qingxie half squints his eyes, slightly raises the corners of his mouth, and his eyes are smiling with ink ice. Ink Night Ice smell speech, facial expression tiny change. The third son of the dragon has been showing up as a waste material, saying that the Imperial Doctor is a quack. What's your trick? The Mo Night Ice Cold Mouse Sun doesn't have a silk other facial expression, direct vision Dragon Qing evil, seem to want to shoot him to where. Everyone knows that Long San is the son of Long Yaozi and the third prince of Long Shugua. This Mo Yibing sees Long Qingxie as a completely irrelevant outsider in front of the public, and his tone is so disrespectful that people present can't help but wonder. This national teacher's face is too big. Even if the emperor's old illness relapses, it seems that it's not his turn to speak, right? However, the reputation of the national teacher in Longshu state did spread to other two countries. At the beginning, it seemed that it was the master of the state of Longshu who calculated that the third prince of the dragon was the disaster star of the state of Longshu, so he sent the third prince of the dragon to the Zhou dynasty and became the son of the dragon. I saw that Long Qingxie dropped his eyes with a smile, and the corner of his mouth was cold. Then he raised his eyes and said, "It seems that I, the third prince of Longshu kingdom, don't believe you, the national teacher of Longshu kingdom. In this case, I don't know. As Long Shao, the leader of the Dragon Pavilion, is the weight enough?" What? Long Shao. I saw that the words of Long Qingxie fell, not only the Ink Night Ice was stunned, but also the people present were stunned. Long Shao, the leader of Longa Pavilion, is famous throughout the Three Kingdoms. That's Long Shao, who monopolized the business of the Three Kingdoms. The lords of the Three Kingdoms, as well as the emperors and nobles, have always wanted to attract people. Just when everyone was in a daze. Dragon Qing evil ferocious face outlines a radiant, staring at the ink night ice eyes, there is a bloodthirsty meaning. Everything will start here. Suddenly, Long Qingxie put a hand on his face and pulled it fiercely. A human skin mask was pulled off. Under the mask of the ferocious burned human skin. It's a face of evil spirit, indifference and evil. It's just like a carved face. It's not perfect to have more or less. Especially with that pair of unique golden eyes and a head of elegant silver hair, dyed the evil color of evil. The whole person is totally different from the Dragon 3 just now. Mo Night Ice Cold Mao Mi, as expected is he. However, what surprised him was that he was still the Dragon Shao in the Dragon Pavilion, who had been so mysterious that even he could not investigate. The crowd looked at Long Qingxie's move and was stunned for a moment. Then, the sound of pouring qi spread secretly, with big eyes and unbelievable eyes, the dragon's evil face. One by one, the breaths stopped. Now, who is this face that is perfect and evil? Is this Long Shitzi? How could that be? Long Shitzi, who is regarded as a waste in the world, is the Dragon Shao who has a good reputation in the Three Kingdoms. For a moment, it made people feel that they could not digest this information. The ink night ice and coagulates the dragon to pour evil, the abnormal facial expression has already restored to the color, but the ice son of ice cave general is colder a few minutes. Dragon 3 is Dragon Little. In fact, they all take Dragon as their surname, which he should have guessed for a long time. However, he was too confident in his calculations. And now, when Zhou Batian and Zhou Feiyu saw the dragon's evil spirit and peeled off the ferocious human skin, revealing the original evil appearance, their faces looked like eggplant beaten by frost. Blue and purple, with deep disbelief in the pupil. However, like more than shocked, Zhou Feiyu's eyes are full of anger. It's him. It's the same person. When he said that the least price to pay was opportunity that day, he doubted it, but he didn't study it carefully. Now it seems that his guess is true. The clenched fists. Cloud dance swept everybody one eye, the corner of the mouth is raising sneer, the eye depth is actually slightly chilly. Looking at the expressions of those who once slandered him, looked down upon him, satirized him and laughed at him, the coldness around her sank a little. Enjoy the shock. Master, I don't know if Long Shao has that thin face that can govern the country. Dragon Qing evil pick eyebrow looking at Imo Yibing, the corner of the mouth is still hanging that white bloodthirsty sense. With the cold light from the bottom of Ice's eyes, the darkness seemed to be thinking about something. He said hoarsely, since the dragon has little heart, it's troublesome for the dragon. As soon as the words came out, there was another hiss. Is he really Long Shao? Originally, there were many people who remained skeptical. But even the national master of Long Shugua has confirmed it. Who else dares to doubt it? Long Shao is actually Long San. Oh, my God, not only is it not a waste, but also has such amazing martial arts skills and talent, and such a mysterious identity of Nyocha. What's the secret behind this man? When Long Qingxie heard Mo Yibing's reply, the meaning of his mouth was more obvious. What's the trouble? I'm the third prince of Longshu Kingdom. For my father's sake, it's right. Don't you think so, Mr. Guosher? In a word, let Mo Yibing's face look very ugly. At this time, the ink night ice seems to finally understand the dragon's evil eyes. He wanted to restore the status of the three princes of Longzuguo in public, and return to Longzuguo above board. No wonder, he will choose to show his strength in the Three Kingdoms competition, and dare to restore his identity in front of him. For Mo Yibing's face, Long Qingxie sneers and glances coldly, then takes back his sight. Then, looking at the crowd, the evil and enchanting light in their behavior completely revealed their unintentionalness. The female students in the challenge arena, looking at the evil face of Long Qingxia, immediately held their breath, staring at Long Qingxia. A girl's heart overflowed. Since ancient times, beauty is still very important. Cloud dance micro frown corner of the mouth sneer, eyes light chill appear, beauty disaster. Long Qingxia stepped down and danced with clouds all the way. Without the cover of the black veil, the light of his whole body made the cloud dance feel a little flashy. This man, still wearing that veil, makes people feel more comfortable. They all took a cool breath when they looked at each other as if they were looking at each other. Originally, people thought that the two wastes were so rebellious. Are they blind? Or, are they good at hiding? I'm afraid they were shocked more than they have ever been in their lives. If they had not been young, they would have been shocked to death. The most miserable one is Fengillo. After learning the mysterious identity of Dragon 3, he covers his heart and staggers in surprise. Long Shao is a mysterious business tycoon in everyone's eyes. He is almost a rich man in charge of the wealth of the three kingdoms. It is said that his wealth has the power to shake the whole mainland of China with a single finger. Some of the funds of his Nirvana Cloud Terrace were donated by the shops of Longa. Now Long Shao is the news of Long San. He must digest it for a while. However, at this time or hastily announced the results first. I declare that the Dragon 3 of Shenwang Samurai Academy is against the Dragon 3 of Huangshu's Samurai Academy, and the Dragon 3 wins. The result is bound. Qing Feng, who was helped up, looked at the two people in the distance. Next, Qi Daoyuan of Huangshu's Samurai Academy will draw lots on the stage. What Qi Daoyuan draws is Nangongji. Although Nangongyi looks as if he is a fairy, he doesn't seem to be stained with any dust. However, his hand is not as gentle as his image. If you don't make a move, you will not leave your opponent the habit of resisting. Although this is a competition, can't hurt life, but a shot will also Qi Daoyuan fly. Qi Daoyuan can stand in the challenge arena, but it also shows that his strength is good. The reaction is rapid, and the phantom gallops back. The fierce breath on his body is aggressive, just like a dragon. It seems that as long as he passes by, he will be hurt by the sharp airflow. When his figure attacked Nangongji again, a strange scene happened. Nangongyi stops his shoulder with his bare hands, and suddenly stops the blurring in front of him. The eyes under the white gauze are still calm. Suddenly, there was a soft power in that palm, which was extremely calm and gentle, without any intention of killing. At that moment, Qi Daoyuan's figure was like an arrow off the bow, flying out in an instant. People are surprised to see Qi Daoyuan flying out of the figure again, and then look at the challenge arena of Nangongyi, surprised again. What did he do? All they saw was his hand on his shoulder, but it bounced off the next second. The other side is the strength of a great martial arts master in the early days. People exclaimed, "What's the matter with all the students of Shenwang Samurai Academy? If you don't do it, it's the quickest way to solve it. It's quite like Nangongyi's style." Yunwu looks at Nangongyi under the white gauze, with a faint smile on his lips. King of God Samurai Academy Nangong Yisheng. 7 Old Wind announced the results, stiff corners of the mouth, but cannot help twitching up. Where on earth did the 5 old men pick out these people? One is more mysterious than the other. It is estimated that the 3 of them can't turn out a few of their powerful martial arts skills in the whole mainland of China. Now they're all in one college. It's kind of weird. Next, Zhou Feiyu of Shenwang Samurai Academy will draw lots on the stage. When the name of Zhou Feiyu falls, the most expected is the people of the Zhou dynasty. Everyone knew that Zhou Feiyu, a young general, was handsome, straight and mighty. He was almost a god of the Zhou dynasty. However, as soon as Zhou Feiyu came to power, he seemed to show some anger. Every shot is sharp and extremely fast, and the sharp fundus hides a frost-like flame, full of cold. Cloud Dance swept the anger in his eyes from a distance. He glanced back at Zhou Badian. The corner of his mouth made a mockery, and then he took back his eyes. A few minutes later, Zhou Feiyu won the game with full offensive speed and won. Then there is Shangguan. Shangguan was lazy. He didn't show much passion in the whole challenge arena. He was just like a fool. However, it is still unexpected, won the victory. However, there have been the first two most exciting games. Behind this, it seems that there is always a lack of some shock. However, it is also in the voice of surprise, won the fifth game. Until the last game. Cloud Dance looked back and glanced at Lu Bai's position, only to find that Lu Bai's position was empty and he didn't know where to go. Her eyes narrowed slightly, and a touch of meditation passed through her eyes. It seemed that he had been away for a long time. Cloud Dance micro-frown, unconsciously glanced at the dark night ice, slightly drooping eyes. Next, Lu Bai will draw lots on the stage. Just after Fengqi called out Lu Bai's name, everyone looked at Yunwu, but Lu Bai's figure was not seen. The cloud dances the Mao light to pass a silk chili, lift Mao Wei, Lu Bai can't participate in the competition. Feng Qilao was stunned, and then said, the non-contestant will abstain, and the opponent will win. How does that affect the overall results? Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrows, she only after the final result, is they won. It's just a losing game. 5-1, Shenwang Samurai Academy wins. However, if the academy abstains, it's not very good for the reputation of the academy. It's better to change someone. We abstained in this game. Without waiting for Fengqi to finish, Yunwu interrupts him, which makes Fengqi's eyes surprised. Cloud Dance just slightly raised the corner of the mouth, died with a lazy smile. As long as the result is what she wants, as for the reputation of the college, what does it matter to her? She has a bad reputation of her own. The Wind 7 old pulled to pull the corner of the mouth, a twitch, can helplessly shake head. The Three Kingdoms competition, the final winner is the King of the Gods Samurai Academy. All of them look at Yunwu. The Shenwang Samurai Academy, which has been at the bottom of the table for 3 years in a row, actually won the counter-attack with such an attitude. Although it gave up in the last game, it was a bit unsatisfactory, but in the previous few games, it really blinded everyone. It's a wonderful game, ha ha ha. Zhou Ba Tianhao put a smile, covered into the deep sharp eyes. Situ Jin also nodded, a pair of brilliant eyes full of smile, really wonderful. Then I'll announce that the game is over. Wait. When Zhou Badian was about to announce the end of the game, a cold voice interrupted him. In the corner not far away, a purple figure came slowly, with a bloodthirsty and indifferent smile on the corner of his mouth. His manner was indescribable and elegant. Cloud Dance walked to Qingfeng's side, eyes light tiny mi, through a touch of cold, my condition, should fulfill it. Qingfeng was stunned for a moment. Conditions? Then, it seemed that he remembered something, and a little undercurrent flashed by his eyes. It seemed that now he knew what a ridiculous condition he had promised. Only the elders can decide the dissolution of the college, and I, as a student, can make a decision. Qingfeng hidden eyes in the dark, coagulation Cloud Dance, mouth pulled out a smile disdain to ridicule. People smell speech, all slightly aleng, didn't expect to Qingfeng when actually don't admit. But what he said is that it is not up to him to decide whether the college will be dissolved, but through the unanimous vote of the elders in the college. But Huangshu Samurai Academy has existed since it became the Kingdom of Lian. How can it be said to be dissolved when it is dissolved? Cloud Dance tiny a low Mao nods, a put on bloodthirsty chilly smile to emerge, so say, you are playing me? Qingfeng touched her eyes, spine fierce a cool, eyes Shen ran a moment. At the bottom of my heart, some inexplicable fear rises. However, the size of this matter, he is also very clear in his mind, it is impossible to let the college disband. He played tricks on her, and he didn't believe it. In front of the public and the Lord of Qing'an, what can she do with him? When Qingfeng thought about it, his confidence rose. With a cold hum, he continued to sneer, it's you who take it seriously. I just Suddenly, a tearing scream filled the whole stadium. The strange atmosphere that makes people feel numb spreads a bloody smell of tearing. The crowd looked at the cloud dance, and their faces were horrified. I saw her eyes with a layer of frost. At the moment, there was a touch of bloodthirsty scarlet. In her hand, she was holding a big black flame knife, sharp and sharp. On the broadsword, the bright red blood is flowing. Along the edge of the broadsword, drop by drop on the ground at her feet, is pale twitching Qing Feng, and an arm. Long Qingxie in the distance looked at the arm and said with a smile, "This little thing he only cut off his arm." Cloud Dance put away the sword, looked back at the Wind 7 old, eyes lights and cold. "I do this, against the rules of the game." Wind 7 old face schwa of a change, he lived for decades, the first time was a girl shocked can't react. An arm, say chop. Chop. It's only a moment to stop. There's no hesitation. Is this little girl really so determined? How can we say that he is also one of the contestants of Huangshu Samurai Academy? The challenge between the two academies is such a naked provocation. Is it really good? The rules are not clear but... Oh, that's no foul. Cloud Dance clear nod, take back the vision, turn to the dragon to pour evil. Fengqi, with his mouth open, was stunned again. What he wants to say is that now the game is over, it's making trouble after the game, but after touching Cloud Dance's cold and resolute figure in Situ Lan's eyes, he sighed helplessly. He has also become a person of favoritism. Yunwu returned to his seat and glanced at the dragon's evil spirit. His eyes were bright and quiet. It's time to train the people of Huangshu Samurai Academy. The meaning of this is very clear. With a deep smile, Long Qingxie put his arms around her waist. I can't hide anything from this little thing. He raised Mao to Hope 1 IC 2 Lan, Mao Guang Surface 1 Silk Warning. Huangshu Warrior Academy is his influence. If Yunwu hadn't guessed this, I'm afraid she wouldn't have let Qing Feng and Huangshu Academy go. Situ Lan touched his eyes, shrugged, and seemed helpless. But deep in that pair of wise eyes, there was an imperceptible cold, looking straight at Qing Feng still lying on the ground. Even if Cloud Dance let him go, Situ Lan will not let him go. Is this the talent cultivated in the college? What a fool. In the quiet forest of Nyantai, it is quiet and comfortable. Are you going to go back today? Cloud Dance raises Mao to look at Dragon to pour evil, Mao light heavy inquiry. Dragon Qing evil micro a jaw head, Yang that wipe unique smile, if reluctant for husband, go back with husband. The Cloud Dance slightly droops the eye light passes over a silk heavy idea. Go to nature is to go. But before going, she needs to go back to inner college to get the map. I'm afraid she can't go back with him for the time being. Be careful on your own. Now that you have exposed your identity, I think there will be a lot of trouble on the way. Dragon Qing evil mouth radiant a yang, embrace her in the bosom. Yunwu nodded in his arms. The man always seemed to know what she was thinking. To be honest, it feels good, be careful and wait for me. In the end, Yunwu didn't say much. Because of a lot of things, they seem to have a tacit understanding, not to say too much. After the Three Kingdoms competition, Yunwu and Long Qingxi broke up. Long Qingxie followed Long Shugua's troops back to Long Shugua, while Zhou Feiyu and Zhou Badian went back to Zhou dynasty. And on the second day after the Three Kingdoms competition, just one night. The Cloud family that waste 9 miss, unexpectedly is many department summoners news, with that waste dragon world Sun Dragon 3, unexpectedly is that famous, the most mysterious dragon little news. It almost spread all over the world, and immediately caused a sensation in the whole mainland of China. Waste to genius. It is estimated that everyone has broken their glasses. In particular, even if it is a genius, but this one has become the legendary summoner, and the other one has become the most powerful dragon Shao in the Three Kingdoms. It's shocking. For a while. There are more and more rumors about them. Almost everything about Miss Nine and Long Shao has been turned out. Even gradually, news spread. It is said that the Zitong girl who made trouble in Murong Mansion in Los Angeles is Miss Yun Jiajiu. People in Los Angeles are very popular. The Murong family, including the old Murong people, were all dumbfounded. At that time, the girl of that boy was Miss Yun Jiajiu? And the summoner? But when the silly eyes shocked in the past, it was followed by a very happy heart. Because the Murong family leader recognized Yunwu as their daughter. Doesn't that mean that they have a big relationship with the ninth lady? Think about it, that Murong old man excited one by one. Go straight to the Murong's house, want to discuss with the Murong's master, whether to go to the Cloud's house in the Imperial City, to contact the Murong's dry daughter. However, the mother-in-law and the Murong family leader seemed to behave normally, as if they already knew the identity of Yunwu. Of course. Apart from the other side of Los Angeles, this end of the Imperial City is also volatile. You know, Miss Nine of the Cloud family is a waste. It's estimated that no one in the whole Imperial City knows about it. But it suddenly came out that Miss Nine turned into a talent and became a summoner. She also took part in the Three Kingdoms competition on behalf of Shenwang Samurai Academy and won a great victory. She was really surprised that many people lost their chin. However, as soon as the news came out, the woman was the first to know. The main hall of the back palace of the Zhou dynasty. A woman in a golden dress was sitting on the lady's chair, with a trace of gloom floating in her beautiful eyes. The golden and resplendent main hall is now covered with a layer of gray, and the breath is strange and quiet. You say that Miss Yunfu Nine is the purple pupil girl? A voice with gloomy anger broke the silence in the main hall. Standing not far away from her, the man in black lowered his head and said, "Yes." Pop, the crisp sound of breaking came out. The snow willow, who tasted tea gracefully, flashed a trace of coldness in her beautiful eyes. Bring her back to me. At all costs. If she doesn't come back, you don't have to come back. The main hall was filled with a trace of gloomy atmosphere, and the elegant and calm face was a bit ferocious at the moment. Yes, the man in black suddenly nodded and retreated respectfully. No wonder, since last time, she has never heard from her again. It turns out that she has been hiding her identity as Miss Nine. However, what makes Xueliu very angry is that she didn't take her life after she had been fed with poison for more than 10 years. Why on earth? Is it because she is the inheritor of the bright blood of the witch clan? Damn it! At the beginning, if it was not for the fate of the witch people, she could not be killed by others when she was under 15, why did she keep her for more than 10 years? But now that she was 15, she found that everything was out of her control. Snow Willow put down the teacup in her hand, and her beautiful eyes swept a trace of anger. She must not stay. Soon, the anger in her beautiful eyes was gone, and Xueliu got up and left. However, just after she left, the teacup on the table turned into a pool of foam in an instant. Internal college. The night is winding around, on the silent square. A little figure disappeared. When it reappeared, it was in front of the old tower. Elder, the game has won. According to the agreement, can I have the map? Cloud Dance raises Mao to look at Big Elder, Star Bright Mouse Sun inside, hardcover a silk of excitement, but, performance more is indifferent. If you open your mouth, you will show your intention directly. She also needs to rush to Long Ziguo to see if she can catch up with him. In fact, the Three Kingdoms competition is set up in the middle of the Three Kingdoms. The distance is not too far. One night's rapid flight will take you to the position of Shenwang Samurai Academy and competition in a few hours. If she gets the map, she will catch up with it immediately. It is estimated that she will be able to catch up tomorrow afternoon. See Cloud Dance that directly to the point, Tower Old that calm face, slightly raised a smile. Take it. As soon as his hoarse voice fell, a map fell in the air. Cloud Dance took the map and glanced at it. There was a trace of fine awe in her eyes, and the corner of her mouth could not help raising it. It's true. She has another map, and now she has 6. With the map in hand, Cloud Dance naturally doesn't need to waste time in the college. Thank you, Elder. I have something urgent, so I'll go first. Language falls under, also don't wait for Big Elder to say what. Cloud Dance figure a sweep, already disappeared on the square. This girl, I want you to chat with me, the old man, so fast. Elder looking at the empty square, calm face rarely flashed a helpless, complaining low Nan. Cloud Dance looked at the map in the hand, took a deep breath, the purple pupil Mao can't hide the joy. But in a second hand, it was quickly put into space. She lifted her eyes to see a clear moon hanging in the sky, her eyes twinkled. Now that the map of the college has been solved, she can temporarily put down what she is doing and help him wholeheartedly. The cloud dances the corner of the mouth a yang, soars in the air and rushes toward the Cloud family army. Since we want to seize power, how can we lose strength? Of course, with her elite troops and killer corps. I just don't know how they have been training these days. I don't know if they can prevent her. Yunwu's eyes narrowed, and the corners of his mouth outlined a strange smile. Over the camp, a shadow of the Yunjiajin came in the air. Cloud Dance, wearing black gauze, is hiding in the barracks square, observing the movement around, but it is strange to find that there is no one around the barracks. Is there no one on patrol? Suddenly, Yunwu felt as if her body was controlled by something and could not move at all. It's Lingli Array. The nihilistic power array formed by gathering all kinds of power. At that moment, more than a dozen shadows came towards her with a sharp speed and a strong power. Yunwu frowned slightly. After seeing the shadow clearly, the corner of his mouth raised, and a touch of interesting taste passed by his eyes. Actually found her hiding in, then have a good time with you. Suddenly, a touch of dark purple power gushed out, and the spirit power array was broken. More than a dozen figures came quickly. They were beaten back by the broken spirit power of the spirit power array, and were stunned on the ground. Who dares to break into the army of the Cloud family at night? When Gao Yu heard something unusual, he came out of the tent and pointed a long sword at Yunwu. Cloud Dance slightly low Mao, the corner of the mouth raises, the so-called Cloud family army, so point ability. Hearing this, Gao Yu looked at Yunwu with a sneer, who are you? If it's a mistake, I advise you to leave quickly. By mistake? Haha, you're wrong. I'm to provoke. The cloud dances, the eye light is shining, the lip corner under the black veil is sketching a light smile. Just as her voice fell, the dozen soldiers who had just attacked her immediately surrounded her. That posture is like an array. Suddenly, Yunwu felt a vague sense of oppression. A dozen soldiers pointed at her with long swords in their hands. Each sword was engraved with a moon mark, which was full of strange brilliance in the moonlight. Cloud Dance looks at long sword, eyes suddenly surprised. Those swords are absorbing the essence of the moon. This is the first time she has seen that there is still a way to absorb the essence of sun and moon. The sword is shining like the moon. Yunwu smiles and looks forward to the next picture. Take it. With a command, more than a dozen long swords came in the air, and with cool power, they went straight to the clouds. Hoo-hoo brush. There was a roar overhead. Yunwu raised her eyes slightly and looked up at the sky. With an awe-inspiring smile at the corner of her mouth, she was full of dark purple fighting spirit. She broke through the spirit power in an instant and went into the air more and more. Air. The broken spirit force backfired, and more than a dozen soldiers fell to the ground in an instant. And Cloud Dance looks at the skirt that is scratched rotten by the edge of spirit power, a trace of satisfaction looks in the eye light. Don't fight. You're not her match. Just as a dozen soldiers were ready to rise to fight back. A calm voice, like water, suddenly came out through the cold night. All people hear the words that make Xian Dai say, all is tiny Aleng, immediately take a trace of doubt to look back. Not her rival. This array is taught by Ling Xiantian himself. It has the power of array. They have learned it by themselves. Make Xian Dai from camp came out, the corners of the mouth hang smile, all the way to Cloud Dance walked in the past. So did not come back, a return under such a heavy hand, you do not care? Cloud Dance tiny a pick eyebrow, understand this makes Xian Dai already know is she. So, she directly reached out to take off the hood and glanced at Ling Xiantian. Her eyes were a little dull. She was going to play with them for a while. People's faces changed when they saw Yunwu's beautiful face. This engraved into their mind beautiful girl, in addition to the 9 miss, who else? The next second, I saw all the soldiers on the scene, all bowed their heads respectfully and called, Miss 9. Cloud Dance slightly jaw head, glanced at them, looking back at Gao Yu, cold way, gather 100 elite, tomorrow morning with me to leave. Yes, Miss 9. Gao Yu nodded respectfully, but he was more or less puzzled. Could it be that something big was going to happen? Miss 9, are they up to your standard? Gao Yu glanced at the ragged skirt and asked a little embarrassed Cloud Dance. Yunwu just gave a cold smile. Do you think they would be alive if she didn't show mercy? Ling Xiantian looks at Gao Yu and shakes his head helplessly. Just now, Cloud Dance only uses 4 points of strength. On the one hand, it can break the battle. On the other hand, it won't hurt them, but it can't resist. It can be said that the scale is very good. How can ordinary people do this? Gao Yu was stunned, then lowered his head and left. Cloud Dance looks at the figure that he leaves, shallow smile. Shall we begin? Ling Xuanchen looks at Yunwu, and can guess what she wants to do. Cloud Dance slightly jaw head, eyes light in the clear sweep. Shall I come with you? Make Xian Dai know what she wants to do, must indirectly related to his grandfather, so the heart is looking forward to Cloud Dance can let him go with. Cloud Dance coagulates his one eye, the Mao light contemplates a flash to die. I don't know what he means. It's just that it's not the right time for her to reveal her identity. She's just beginning to face up to tens of thousands of beasts. I don't know what will happen, and the time is not ripe. Wait, soon. Make Xian Dai Mao light a dark, but soon then nod. He knew that she must have a reason not to let him go, and he believed her words. Don't worry about it. I will not let you down if I leave the rest of the soldiers. Cloud Dance light smile raised, looking at Make Xian Dai, have you in, I am very at ease. Gao Yu soon gathered the elite troops together. Yunwu told Xiantian to train other soldiers in any special way and left with the elite soldiers. Dress up and wait for me at the junction with Long Shugua. When Yunwu looked at the soldiers' battle clothes, he always felt that some of them were too eye-catching. Yes, 100 soldiers nodded respectfully. Yunwu nodded slightly, just about to leave, as if he thought of something, looking back and said, you can't do it if you don't have to, do you understand? Yes. They all spoke in unison. Cloud Dance a tiny pick eyebrow, the corner of the mouth raised a smile, as if very satisfied with their present state. But 3 seconds later, her face suddenly sank down, don't be so stiff, after leaving, the younger sister's younger sister, drinking, eating meat, what to do? People wonder, what is a girl? However, I understood the general meaning and said, I know, Miss 9. The Cloud dances the Mao light to pass a silk to approve, the child can teach also. Finally, after telling Gao Yu, Yunwu left in the air. People looked at the Cloud dancing figure, slightly stunned, this speed can be listed as immortal, right? After Yunwu left, he came to the eastern suburb woods. She explores the location of the killer core, and finds their figures in a secret remnant. At this time, Bai Qingshui and others have rested. She deliberately pressed the breath to the lowest level. A phantom came to them, and the fast shadow could not be captured. But, brush. Cold light flashed by. The sword in Bai Qingshui's hand has been pulled out, and it is still 1 meter away from Yunwu's chest. Yunwu looks at the swords around him, and the corners of his mouth outline slightly. It seems that their strength has been greatly promoted, much faster than she imagined. Bai Qingshui looks at the Cloud dance, and the surprise looms in his cold eyes. Her strength has improved again. Although they are resting, their vigilance is not relaxed all the time. When they feel the abnormal breath, they have already shot with the fastest speed. But in front of her, it's still slow. Their current strength and speed, among the assassins, should belong to the top, but compared with her, they are still far behind. Yes, I'm satisfied. The cloud dances and raises the corner of the mouth, the eye light dawns, a touch of praise. They took back their swords and looked at each other. In addition to being stunned, they were surprised. Shachi stood up, bowed his head respectfully and asked, Master, have you improved your strength again? Cloud Dance droops Mao a smile, did not answer his question. He glanced at the crowd and said, after training for so long, it's time to go and practice. Wait for me at the junction of Longshu Kingdom. Yes, everyone immediately nodded respectfully, and there was a ray of light in their eyes. After training for so long, they are waiting for this moment to try their strength. Cloud Dance slightly jaw head, brush sleeve left the woods. The night was dim, and half of the sky was pale. The cloud dances in the air and gallops. He lifts his eyes and condenses the dense air. He is slightly relieved. He has done all that he should do. Now the most important thing is to go to Longziguo. With 100 soldiers, the target is too big, and her identity is completely exposed. Those who want her life are everywhere. It's better to separate them just in case. What's more, she is not ready to let anyone know the existence of her forces. After daybreak, Yunwu finally rushed back to the inn to meet Nangonji, who had been discussed before. In fact, let Nangongyi follow her back to the college, is the meaning of the man Long Qingxie. It's rare for a man so jealous to suggest that other men follow her. However, Yunwu knows very well. The man was worried about her safety. In the competition, after her identity was exposed, she was faced with more than just a few minor characters. But Imo Yibing, even the cruel role of the Queen Shuoyo. One more Nangonji can ensure her safety. His idea, Cloud Dance How cannot understand it, so, she did not refuse, as long as he can rest assured. Here. As soon as Yunwu stepped into the inn, he heard a warm and cool voice. Looking back, Nangong-yi is tasting tea there. With a slight hook on the corner of his mouth, he walks towards him. Is everything done? Cloud Dance slightly jaw head, picked up the tea cup on the table, a sip, done. What time to start? Nangong-yi turns the teacup in his hand, thinking deeply. Cloud Dance looked at his thoughtful expression, slightly pulled the corner of his mouth, took back his eyes, pretended not to see, and calmly said, I'll leave soon. Nangong-yi nodded slightly, and the fingers on the back of tea turned white. In the twinkling of an eye, he put down the teacup, sighed imperceptibly, raised his eyes and looked at Yunwu. Let's go. Hey, did you hear that something happened to Yunfu in the Imperial City? Just as Yunwu nodded, a simple and fierce voice suddenly came to stop Yunwu's action. What happened? What's the matter? Why don't I know? I heard that an assassin sneaked into Yunfu last night and killed several people. Even Master Yun was injured. How can it be? It's the general's residence. Who dares to assassinate him? Isn't it a suicide? Who knows, but the news I got is absolutely true. Cloud Dance micro frown, listened to a few men on the table, you a word I a word, cold eyes covered with a layer of frost, grasped the finger of the cup unconsciously force. The assassin sneaked into Yunfu. And hurt the old man. How can ordinary people hurt the strength of the old man? Cloud Dance half squints eyes, pondering who is the most suspect. Suddenly, her eyes suddenly lifted, and a shadow passed in her mind. Is it her? Fontanesia. It seems that only she has a good reason to move Yunfu. Snow Willow so blatantly in the general's head on the ground, not afraid to be found. Cloud Dance eyes light dark, eyes suddenly a cold, is there someone behind this thing? It's a day away from the Imperial City, even if you use the most advanced flying beast. Yunwu was assassinated last night, and the news arrived here at noon today. It seems that the time is not very suitable. Nangonji's calm and cool voice broke the meditation of Cloud Dance. Yes. Although there are 2 cities away from the border city, if you want to return to the Imperial City, even with the fastest flying beast, you can't get the news here in half a day. Isn't it? Cloud Dance Malbottom mi, in a moment toward just that corner table swept. But found that the people on the table, already no trace. It seems that someone deliberately released the news to lead her back to the Imperial City. Nangong-yi also looked at the empty table in the corner and looked up at the Cloud Dance. It's estimated that the Imperial City is not very peaceful at this time. Let's go to Longshu country. Although he didn't know the situation in the Imperial City, it didn't mean that he didn't know the hidden danger. The Cloud dances and hears the speech, but ponders over it. The dark flow under the eyes is flickering. Originally, she was going to meet with Long Qingxie, but now she has another thing to consider. No matter whether the news is intentionally released or not, it is estimated that the Cloud family is not very calm now. She may be cold-blooded, but in the end, the Cloud family is her root. If you leave her alone, her grandfather Nangongji looks at Yunwu, do you want to go back to the Imperial City? Cloud Dance raised her head and drew a bloodthirsty arc like poppy in the corner of her mouth. Since someone wants me to go back, I will go naturally. Nangongyi frowned, knowing that there is danger. Do you want to go back? The Cloud dances the corner of the mouth coldly to put on a cold smile. Dangerous? Where is there no danger around me? If you don't want to be dangerous, you have to solve the dangerous cancer. Nangongyi didn't answer. He took a sip of the cup again. Under the white gauze, he could not see his expression at the moment, but vaguely felt that there was a trace of darkness and dignity in his incorruptible breath. I'll go back to Yunfu first and solve the problem. Please take a message for him. The Cloud dances low Mao Sun, the undercurrent that the eye ground shows not surge. I'll go with you. Nangongyi looks at Yunwu, warm and firm. Cloud Dance slightly raised his mouth. Your identity, go back will only make your father difficult to do, not in a hurry for a while, what's more, I hope you can help him. You. Nangongyi's indifferent eyes pass a trace of worry. He wanted to say something else, but he was interrupted by Yunwu, don't worry, it's better to have a spear, so as not to kill in a large area. It's not suitable. Cloud Dance coldly a smile, the killing intention in Mao Guang looms. Nangongyi looks at Yunwu and seems to understand that she will not change her decision. After pondering for a moment, Nangongyi nodded slightly, put down his teacup and stood up, be careful all the way. Cloud Dance looks at the back figure of Nangongyi leaving, the corner of the mouth slightly raises, and gets up to leave the inn. Now the Zhou dynasty has begun to be lively. Since she wants to make the fire more prosperous, she will help her. Wait to set yourself on fire. In the Cloud dancing eyes, a touch of bloodthirsty scarlet flash away. It was outside a forest in the imperial city of the Zhou dynasty. A figure from the flying beast jumped down, sensitive and rapid. On the way, it's the imperial city. Originally, Yunwu wanted to enter the imperial city directly, but at night, there were city guards patrolling in the air, so it was too lazy to bother. Yunwu also planned to enter the city from the land. The night is winding, and the dark woods are gloomy and quiet. Under the cold moonlight, a touch of cool figure, fast forward in the forest outside the imperial city. All of a sudden, that pair of sharp eyes sun inside flit a touch of cold light, slightly lift eye to glance around. It's murderous. The Cloud dances the corner of the mouth to peep out to put on a sneer, it seems, still really have preparation but come. She explored all around with her mental strength, and found 5 assassins hiding in the woods, and the eyes full of killing intention were staring at her for a moment, the eyes were as sharp as seeing the prey, and the killing intention was strong. It seems that it has been dormant for a long time, waiting for the prey of Cloud Dance. Unfortunately, what they don't know is that when they think others are their prey, they become the prey in the eyes of others. Saw. Extremely light sound of shuttling. Cloud Dance but clearly heard. In the next second, the 5 shadows, which overlapped with the night, came like ghosts dancing towards the clouds. They were as light as a swallow and silent. Cloud Dance's eyes slightly squint, the corners of the mouth pull out a cold radiance. At the moment when the assassin was close to her, a dense dark purple mist surrounded her body, and her power exploded in an instant. Bang! With the sound of a crash, how did the 5 shadows come and get beaten back? 5 assassins by the cold moonlight, looking at the clouds, cold eyes are surprised. You found them long ago. The cloud dances the sharp edge of the mouth. A yang, Mao Guang swept one eye 5 different direction assassins, micro frown. The next second, the man in black was entangled by 5 vines. With the sound of pain, he rolled to Yunwu like a toy. Cloud Dance glares at the painful man in black in front of him, and his eyes are covered with bloodthirsty scarlet. Who is your master? The answer to this question, she knows. However, she wanted these people to take a message to her, but she didn't want to let one go so easily. If you want to kill, you can cut it. One of the assassins closed his eyes and looked like he was being slaughtered. At the first shot of Yunwu, they knew that they were not her opponents in any case. It's just that what scares them is her strength made them feel more terrible than their master. Even instinctively, they felt their hearts tremble. Have backbone. I don't know if there is backbone without bones. The cloud dances from the corner of his mouth and laughs chillingly. It's cold and bloodthirsty and makes the assassin tremble. A hand flick, Cloud Dance calls out Hung Ling from the space. As soon as Hung Ling came out, she saw the assassin on the ground and knew that there was meat to eat again. She lay on Yunwu's shoulder and said, Master. Are you really a summoner? As soon as the man in black saw Hung Ling, he stuttered and looked at Yunwu. His eyes were surprised, and suddenly he was afraid. It's said that it's different from what I saw with my own eyes. Cloud dances the corner of the mouth to raise bloodthirsty smile, glanced at assassin one eye. Don't you know early? It is estimated that the whole mainland of China knows that she is a summoner. And it's impossible for Shuoyo's men not to know. You. At the moment, looking at the cold and bloodthirsty Cloud Dance, the man in black wanted to say something, but he couldn't say anything. Cloud Dance draws back the vision, glanced at the red Ling on the shoulder. One eye, cold way, he handed over to you. Hung Ling immediately withdrew from Yunwu's shoulder. In the blink of an eye, the originally small bouquet turned into a huge original shape. The ferocious mouth of its tusks, in the night, was extremely terrifying. Master, then I'll eat it. The mouth of Hung Ling's tusks was thick and dripping. Then, without waiting for Yunwu to open his mouth, he couldn't wait to open his mouth. Ah! With a scream, Hung Ling has dragged the man in black, who is bound by the vine, to one side. Only bones. Just when Hung Ling wanted to swallow it, the cloud danced a very cold voice, which stopped it from biting. Eat bones? It's a carnivorous plant, not a dog. Master. Red Ling Rong dissatisfied looking at Cloud Dance, almost a snot a tear. Cloud Dance frowned. Majesty glanced at it. Take the meat to me, quickly. Hung Ling big mouth wronged a flat, as if pathetic looking at Cloud Dance. However, after touching Yunwu's cold and bloodthirsty eyes, he was so scared that he quickly put away his grievances and worked hard. The other 4 assassins on the ground heard her words and looked at her eyes as if they were thrilled to see a ghost. Is she the devil? You say, without bones, is there still backbone? Cloud Dance will Mao Guang lock in another assassin body, Sun smile of pick eyebrow. You kill me, I don't know. The assassin took back his surprised and frightened eyes and tried not to look at the blood on Hung Ling's side. I like to have a temper. The cloud dances with a clear smile, receives a brush, and calls out a little stink from the contract space. Ma. Maybe too long no see, small stink. See Cloud Dance, happy can't, a strength in her body. Rub. Cloud Dance's face turned black, pulled the little stink down, glanced at the assassin and said, Mom, if you want to roast the whole sheep, I'll give it to you. Little Stinky wants to eat after listening to Cloud Dance, and immediately drags away the assassin. After a while, a flash of fire swept up and screamed through the sky. And the temperature in the air, also in the moment. There's a bloody smell, there's a barbecue smell. The remaining three were pale at the moment. They didn't want to see the cruel scene, but they couldn't help looking. In the next question, Yunwu releases by Shuer and Lan Yu in turn. The assassins were terrified. Is this the ability of multi-series summoners, multi-series contract Warcraft? Choose one and play. That's what Cloud Dance says. Then, there's only one of the three. Cloud Dance looked at the ground. Only a man in black, tone more insipid, do not know what kind of death do you want to try. The only remaining assassin, watching the other four companions being bitten, burned, ice-stabbed and wind-blade cut to pieces, was so shocked in his eyes that he almost had nausea in his stomach that he could not help vomiting. Assassins are determined to commit suicide after the mission fails. However, at this time, he was trapped like rice dumplings, and there was no way to commit suicide. What's more, not everyone is really not afraid of death. In particular, seeing this bloodthirsty girl and her contract animals, it seems that death is not terrible, and it is terrible to be so late. I said. Cloud Dance, eyes slightly squint, mouth a hook, finally have a know how to cherish the opportunity. Yes, the Queen sent us here to kill you. The man in black twisted his eyebrows painfully and lay on the ground, as if he didn't want to see the scene in the distance anymore. Cloud Dance, a hook on the corner of the mouth, a touch of cold in the eyes. Glancing at him, she said, is the news that something happened to the Cloud family under her command? Hearing this, the man in black said, I don't know. It seems that your consciousness is not high either. Suddenly, a wooden sword suddenly appeared in Yunwu's hand, kicking the bodies of the people in black on the ground. The wooden sword slowly approached with an extremely tormenting speed. The feeling of waiting for death, so long. The Queen sent someone to do it. When the wooden sword poked into the skin of the assassin's chest, he cried out, as if to vent his fear of waiting for death. Cloud Dance's scarlet eyes slightly seem very satisfied with his reaction now. Then Qingling said, what's the purpose? In order to attract you, kill you completely. The assassin is not hiding, will know all the tray out, it seems that did not want to live, just want a Cloud Dance can give him a happy. Threaten me with Yunfu and make me compromise, right? The Cloud Dance droops the MOU to sneer, the sharp line of the corner of the mouth is more obvious. The assassin nodded and closed his eyes, as if waiting for death. He said all he knew, just for a good time. Suddenly, the assassin felt on his chest, and the sharp and cold feeling disappeared. Suddenly he opened his eyes and found that the wooden sword on his chest had disappeared. Yunwu also stood up. The assassin's frightened eyes passed a trace of doubt. The next second, the vine around him also loosened. You can go now. Give her a word for me. I'll take her life. The Cloud Dance's the Mao light undercurrent surging, after glancing at the assassin, turned to leave. Behind her, there are 4 followers who are full of food, drink and play. The assassin looked at the distant Cloud Dance, and there was no response. After experiencing the devil's killing, can he still live? However, if he returns, will he have life? Ma meat. Small stink a fly petal, jumped to Cloud Dance body, hands still holding a piece of roast black meat, a face excited will pass the meat to Cloud Dance. The Cloud Dances to smell speech, the facial expression suddenly a black. Immediately the little stink on the body pulled down, carried in mid-air, a touch of anti-nausea feeling followed, cold way, throw it. Xiao Smelly blinked and looked at Yunwu suspiciously, staring at the 2 little fat legs in the air, then raised the meat in his hand. Isn't Mama hungry meat? The black line on Yunwu's forehead rises, and it's even more disgusting to see the meat. Master, that's rabbit meat. Hungling really can't see it anymore. She can't help reminding Yunwu. Didn't the master find that the smelly thing was carrying a rabbit leg? And by Shuer and Lan you can't help laughing when they see the scene just now. She's always smart. Why didn't she notice this time? Yunwu is stunned when she hears the words. She looks at the rabbit's big muscle in Xiaoqiu's hand with disgusting eyes. Her forehead turns black. It's really a rabbit leg. Small Stink saw Cloud dance, eyes no cold light and nausea, immediately excited up, 2 legs flying in the air, running like the hands of the meat, again to the Cloud, ma. Meat. Yunwoo takes the rabbit meat in her hand and puts it in her arms. Looking at her red ears, she has a bad taste in her heart. He realized that she didn't eat human meat, so he roasted rabbit meat. This little thing, although often angry, but really let her not sad. Cloud dance looks at the rabbit meat in the hand and sighs. If these little guys, one by one, could be as considerate as they are now, she would not have a headache. After knowing exactly the purpose of Shuelyo, Yunwoo rushed back to Yunfu as soon as possible. However, she also wanted to understand that Shuelyo had been chasing her secretly for fear of being found out. This time, she made such a big stir and threatened her with Yunfu. There must be something behind this. Maybe it also involves the interests of imperial power. It seems that things are more and more interesting. It's just that what Yunwoo doesn't know. The Cloud family encounters an assassin, and the Cloud Master is stabbed. The news is true, not empty. Yunfu. Old Master, Miss Nine is back. There was a guard call outside the door. Suddenly, the old man, who was still lying in the hospital bed, sat up and glanced at the door. He said in a loud voice, "What did you say?" "Miss Nine is back." The guard was startled by his loud voice and said again, "9 wenches are back." Cloud Chi Mao light happy color suddenly rises, a lift quilt will get out of bed. Squeak. Just as he was about to get out of bed, the door was pushed open and a cold figure came in. "Grandpa, are you okay?" As soon as Yunwoo came into the room, he saw the pale Yunqi. He immediately stepped forward and asked with a slight frown. When Yunqi saw it, he could not help laughing, a circle of wrinkles around his eyes. "It's okay. It's okay. If it wasn't for being beaten by my family, how could the little bunny hurt me?" Yunqi's face twisted, patted her body, and her voice didn't decrease because of the injury. The Cloud dances in the Mao light to pass a silk helpless, listen to Cloud Chi 100 decibels of big voice, confirmed that he didn't suffer too serious injury. But she was angry at the bottom of her heart. Because, she just came back to the Cloud home to know that the news of the Cloud home accident was true. So, as soon as she got back to her house, she came to Yunqi's house. However, 9 wenches, how did you come back? Yunqi frowns slightly, and her eyes flash. She looks at Yunwoo anxiously. Although, he never asked anything. However, his heart is like a mirror, many things are very clear in his heart. The 9 girls heard that they had exposed their strength in the competition, which means that they were in the light. She returned to the imperial city, is not the wolf into the tiger's mouth. Cloud dance coagulated his one eye, saw the worry in his eyes, the corner of the mouth relieved slightly smile, "Don't worry, I can come back, that means I am sure." Yunqi nodded and his fierce eyes were full of warning, 9 girls, don't worry, Cloud House will always be your backing. If they dare to come, old man, I don't mind loosening my muscles and bones every day, but who dares to move you, I'll absolutely break him up. The Cloud dances and hears the speech, slightly oleng. In fact, maybe what she came back to wait for was nothing else but such a sentence. In a word, the recognition and support of the family seems to be enough. However, now her reputation is too loud, whether it's Zitong Girl's enemy or Miss Yunfu's 9, now she's coming directly to Lao Zhen Yunfu. The Cloud family may not be very peaceful. However, in front of this old man, but unconsciously, as if let her more and more care. Is this old man careless? Naked care moved her. Maybe. If once upon a time, she would not care if there was an accident in Yunfu, but now she put down Longqingxi for the time being and came back in a hurry. For whom? Isn't it just for the person in front of you? Cloud Dance looks down and smiles, as if there's another person you can trust. Grandfather, does the Emperor know this? The Cloud dances, the Mao light passes a cold on, opening a way. It's just an assassin. The emperor manages everything every day. You don't have to trouble him with this little thing. Yunqi looks at Yunwu suspiciously, with a pair of fierce eyes looking at her. Aren't people from the queen's side? How can this girl ask like this? Yunwu glances at Yunqi's face, which suddenly darkens, and a trace of meditation passes through his eyes. The old man is so smart that he can understand what she said. And she wanted the old man to understand. In the magnificent main hall of the harem. Master, she's back. The assassin who assassinated Yunwu bowed his head respectfully. Shuoyo squints her beautiful eyes and looks at the embarrassed breath of the assassin. She suddenly understands that the assassin failed. The snow willow I ground passes a cold idea, how can she let you go? The assassin felt the chill in Shuoyo's words. He could not help but cool his back and lowered his head deeper. He asked me to bring a word to the master. What's that? Shuoyo sips tea and looks at the assassin blandly. The assassin pondered for a long time and didn't say anything. It seems that I dare not say. I beg your pardon. The snow willow glanced at him, and her beautiful eyes were plain. She said she'll take your life. Bang! As soon as the assassin's voice fell, he flew out in a straight line and hit the table and chair in the distance. There was a clatter. In the snow willow beautiful eyes, the chill appeared, and a void forced the distant man in black out of breath. Until the man in black was about to suffocate and roll his eyes. Snow willow just relaxed some strength, beautiful Mao in the chilly and angry, inform Cloud Mansion, tomorrow hold a banquet, I want to let her leave life to me first. Yes. The assassin in black said difficultly and respectfully. Shuoyo took back the strength of emptiness, picked up the teacup on the table and continued to taste it. It seemed that everything just happened was just an episode, and it didn't exist at all. But her anger and een could not be completely hidden. 2 failures, but also the whole body back, your head in the left once. Snow Willow's slender fingers stroked the wine glass, and the tone was just like that cup of tea. Yes, I'm leaving. The man in black was hoarse and uncomfortable. After his voice answered, he reluctantly stood up, slightly bowed his head, turned and left quickly. Shuoyo glances at the man in black who left, and the killing intention emerges in his purple eyes. In another palace of the Imperial Palace, Zhou Feiyu was thinking about something there. Your Highness, the Queen is going to give a banquet to Yunwu girl. Wu Han came to Zhou Feiyu and told him the words of monitoring the Queen. Zhou Feiyu smell speech, Mao Guang awe-inspiring a cold, then look back to 5 cold, think of a way to let her not come. 5 cold 1 leng, in the eyes schemes a touch of worry. It's a critical moment now. Your Highness will do it for that girl again. Wu Han was about to say something, but he could touch Zhou Feiyu's warning eyes, so he shut up. Finally, I had to nod and leave. Zhou Feiyu stood up and stood in front of the window with dignity that could not be ignored. Entering the palace is like falling into a swamp. You can't help yourself. Whoever saves will die. But, to her, he can't help the next day. Early in the morning, imperial edict came from the palace, saying that the empress had a banquet for Miss Yunjiajiu. Cloud Dance looks at the imperial edict and sneers. Do you want to start first? Since it's an edict, you can't disobey it. Yunwu made up and went to the palace with her father-in-law. Halfway through the carriage, Yunwu suddenly felt a strong sense of killing, and her eyes suddenly became cold. Is it true that there are too many enemies? You'll find revenge everywhere. Hiss. In an instant, the galloping carriage stopped abruptly. The momentum increases instantly, and Yunwu is not thrown out because it is on guard. Then she heard a scream from the next carriage. When I opened the curtain, I found that the father-in-law in another carriage was thrown out and rolled on the ground. The cloud dances the corner of mouth a yang, then lift the emu to glance to the person who stops the carriage, Mao Guang a cold. Is there only one person? Who on earth is this man? How dare you stop all the carriages in the palace? leave the woman in the car and spare your life. A touch of extremely cold voice, into the ears of several people. I don't think you want to live. Somebody, take it for me. Thrown out of the father-in-law, angry, glancing at a orchid finger, Hate said. Suddenly, a touch of cold light twinkled the eyes of Cloud dancing. When she opened her eyes 1 second later, more than a dozen bodyguards who rushed up had been killed and fell into a pool of blood. Cloud danced star eyes tiny eye, a touch of blade cold on moment across the eye's bottom. This person has a kind of Warcraft breath, is a very subtle feeling, Cloud dance can feel, this kind of breath is not his own. Instead, it seems to be formed over time with Warcraft for a long time. Blue talent, middle stage of Wusheng, how can you? My father-in-law looked at the bodyguard who fell down in an instant, his eyes were staring with fear, pointing to the man who stammered and couldn't speak. Suddenly, the cold light came again. Poof! Blood spattered. In an instant, the father-in-law fell to the ground. Cloud Dance looked at this scene coldly, glanced at the dead father-in-law on the ground, then looked back at the man. The Mao light inside flits over a touch of chill, indifferent way, who catches me? The man put his eyes as flat as a mirror on Yunwu and said coolly, I have no malice. I just hope Miss Yunjiu can follow me. The man's attitude was extremely respectful and his words were sincere. No malice. Cloud Dance sneers and glances at the bodyguard in the pool of blood. There's no malice against her, but she's demonstrating and threatening, isn't she? The cloud dances, the eye ground spreads scarlet, the remnant shadow fleets in an instant, attack toward that person. Well. Power whirl, sharp as a blade, a shadow was instantly hit fly, for a long time to stop. That person barely can still stand steadily, looking at Cloud Dance, sulky eyes, suddenly surprised. When he saw the shadow of Cloud Dance, he began to resist it, but it was not faster than her after all. Is it really as powerful as the legend? In that case, don't blame me for being rude. The man's face turned black and his eyes turned cold. Suddenly, he took out a whistle from his arms and blew it. All of a sudden, Yunwu felt a strange smell. Her eyes suddenly lifted, thoughts spread, how can so familiar? When the whistle stopped, for Warcraft appeared around the man. Cloud Dance calm eyes, it seems that these Warcraft are tamed, but also with the original offensive, are 5-level Warcraft. Suddenly, the man's palm pushed, and 4 Warcraft danced towards the cloud in an instant. A vigorous, purposeful and strategic attack is like a deliberate training. The cloud dances the eye in a moment to brush over an undercurrent, originally, is he? No wonder she thought, how so familiar. At the beginning, in Luoshui City, in the Warcraft forest on the outskirts of Murong's home, the Warcraft troops in the Warcraft training ground. It's Zhou Feiyu. He sent someone to stop her. Why? Under the attack of the 4 Warcraft, Yunwu's figure swept away and hid, but he could not help frowning again and glanced back at the man. Although the attacks of these Warcraft are swift and violent, they are not bloody. It can be seen that this man is not malicious. However, Cloud Dance's eyes are slightly cool. No matter what, she doesn't like being threatened. In this case, these Warcraft should also learn a lesson. Have fun. I'll go back first. The man looked at the Warcraft fighting with Cloud Dance, said a word, and left in the air. Cloud Dance Mao light sharp coagulate one eye that figure, so walked. Does he really think these Warcraft can stop her? Or is he deliberately delaying her time? The cloud dances, the eyes flash a little cool, the bloodthirsty sneer at the corner of the mouth appears, the black flame sword in the hand appears instantly, and the strong breath of power condenses all around. The dark purple air instantly envelopes the dagger, which is compatible with the black flame and is more and more burning. The cloud is waving a big knife, and its speed is like lightning. Who with the unique strong power of Dageo, we can gallop at a high speed. For a moment, Warcraft's body was cut open by a big knife, revealing a ferocious wound. Cloud Dance put the eye light on one of the Warcraft, and the essence light in the eyes flashed by. But at this time, The dragon roll in my mind is full of golden light, and suddenly a message flashes out. The ordinary level 5 spirit beast in the upper world contains elixir in its body. After eating it, it can improve its own spirit power, get along with other spirit beasts, and instantly recover its spirit power to the peak after being injured. When you get along with other spirit beasts, can you instantly restore your spirit power? This ability is still a little bit of what, however, if you think about a group of spirit beasts following you, you will feel very safe. Yunwu looks at the only warcraft that has not been hurt by the sword Qi, and the light of his eyes is more and more bright. This week, Feiyu's men have warcraft in the upper world. Although it's a common level 5 warcraft in the upper world, it's really rare to have such great spiritual power. So, unexpectedly all sent to the door, how can she just let go of the truth? The warcraft's body is surrounded by dense spiritual power, just like a protective film, to block all attacks for it. I'll take the elixir of this good thing. The cloud dances the big knife a flash, in the eye peeps out the fine on that can't be pressed urgently. It seems that I'm really interested to have a quick try. What's the taste of the elixir of the spirit beast in the upper world? Just as Yunwu's broadsword roared away, the spirit beast roared and sent out a powerful spirit force, which immediately collided with the broadsword in Yunwu's hand. The cloud dances the Mao light tiny mi, she can feel the spirit beast's powerful, incredibly can compete with the big knife's own strength. It's really a good thing. The cloud dance water element wraps the dagger and stabs the spirit beast's defense with the dagger. A little bit of penetration, strong power condensation, that belongs to the water element and the power of the sword condensation, the whole half of the sky is a color. The spirit beast gradually resisted and began to slide back. Cloud dance looks at spirit beast, Phoenix Mao tiny mi rises. I can resist the joint attack of the two for so long, see if you can resist this. Suddenly, the cloud danced, and a dark purple light suddenly appeared, which immediately attacked the sword. Bang! A dull sound of impact kept turning. The spirit beast has been knocked down by the powerful force, struggling for several times, as if it can't get up, a pair of eyes staring at the cloud. Cloud Dance's mouth died a touch of radiant, step by step toward the spirit beast. Can you resist? The spirit beast seemed to understand her, and her struggling body suddenly froze. The other three beasts, seeing that their companions had been beaten to flight, all of them, with their tusks in their arms, attacked steadily and flew like flying, and rushed to the clouds with ferocious momentum. Shwa! A black cold light across, jump in the air of Warcraft, figure meal, bang fell on the ground. The dust is flying, the breath is abrupt and sharp, the Warcraft on the ground is twitching, and the eyes looking at the clouds are extremely scared. Cloud Dance once again put the eyes on the spirit beast, died with a bloodthirsty smile, black flame across the sky, a wave of a fall, the hands have more than a crystal thing. Blood, dyed purple, red eyes. Cloud Dance looks at the elixir in the hand, eyes light mi. The elixir emits green light, just like an emerald. You can clearly see that the green spiritual power inside is constantly rotating, just like a continuous reservoir. This is the elixir. Cloud Dance takes the elixir back into the space, and the light of eyes passes by a touch of meditation. This is the elixir of a common level 5 spirit beast. It has the effect of quickly recovering from serious injuries. If it is the elixir of level 6, level 7, or even higher spirit beasts, can you recover quickly as long as you don't die? Is it helpful to the evil body of dragon? Yunwu glances at the spirit beast on the ground and takes the contemplative look. If this is the case, it would be great. However, Cloud Dance raises Mao to see to the father-in-law who has died, a cold frost appears on the face. It seems that we can't go to the palace today. Well, let's go back to Yunfu. Anyway, at this moment, there are still people watching in the dark, and they will naturally explain the whole story to the person they should explain. When Yunwu returned to Yunfu, he found that the whole Yunfu atmosphere became a little dignified and depressed, and he could not help frowning slightly. What happened? Cloud Dance asks a servant girl. Miss Huijiu, the emperor has just issued a decree, saying that the general used his power for personal gain and behaved suspiciously. He took back the talisman of the general. Now the general has. Cloud Dance listened to words, Mao Guanga mi, turn round to walk toward Cloud Chi's room past. Using power for personal gain. Suspicious. It's funny to hear that. As soon as she saw Yunqi's room, she saw that Yunqi was lying in the pavilion at the door, so she quickly walked over. When Yunqi heard that someone was coming, he sat up. When he saw that it was Yunwu, his eyes were very happy. "Nine girl, didn't you go to the palace?" Cloud Dance coagulates Yunqi's reaction at this time, and her eyes pass a trace of doubt. Thinking of the man who blocked the way, he nodded his head and said, "I didn't go. I didn't go well, I didn't go well." Cloud Chi is pulling big voice, immediately happy smile. His happy appearance made Yunwu more confused. It's said that the emperor ordered to accept the military amulet of Yunfu. The cloud dances slightly to pick eyebrow, the Mao light flits past a cold on that is not easy to detect. Yunqi's face suddenly changed when he heard the words, and his smile gradually turned into anger. Lu Jiang won that bastard. He joined your father's book. The country leader's biggest fear is the people who rely on themselves to be too high and use their power for personal gain. In order to be on the safe side, he paid your father's talisman first. Now Yunfu is an ordinary house. The cloud dances the Mao light to pass a touch of cold doubt. Lu Jiang wins. Frost's father. Why did he do that? She has been wondering how Frost Zhe could be poisoned by ice cold when she was so young. Now think about it, if Lu Jiang did something, thus implicating the young Frost Zhe, it is not impossible. And the poison of Frost Zhe is the chip to control Lu Jiang to win. Who is the person who controls Lu Jiang and poisons Shuangzi? An idea flashed through her mind that this matter had something to do with Xueliu. However, as an important official in the court, Yunfu has always been loyal. How could he be cut off because of Liu Jiang's win? It's too hasty. There's only one possibility. The cloud dances the corner of the mouth to fling a cold smile. This result is the result that the emperor hopes. Lu Jiang's win, however, just happened to hit the emperor's heart, so the emperor pushed the boat with the current from ancient times to the present. The emperor's greatest fear is that the high achievers are superior to the masters. However, it seems that Yunlingyi has not achieved the level of being superior to others. That is, Yunwu glances at Yunqi, and her eyes light up. With Yunqi's shrewdness, he will not miss the emperor's reason for doing so, and he must know what the emperor is afraid of. If not, Yunwu sees nothing to do in Yunqi's eyes. Generations of loyal to serve the country, but in exchange for cutting power fear. Why not feel cold? However, for Cloud Dance, the Cloud family's heart, cold good. Cloud Dance back to the room, it's night. Looking at the clear moonlight, I can't help thinking. This naked power cutting has reached the point where there is no loyalty at all. Coupled with her reasons, it seems that there are only two ways to go in Yunfu in the future. Either fight back or die. Or, she died. However, she always cherishes her life. It's impossible for her to die. But the Cloud family, she also gradually had cared about the person, wants to destroy the Cloud family, also absolutely impossible. Only. The night was cold, and the pale moonlight lit up the dark sky, yellow. On the roof of Yunfu's house, more than a dozen shadows appeared to spy on the movement of Yunfu. Cloud Dance is now in front of the window, the sharp star eyes are dyed with the clear moonlight, the room is dark, under the moonlight, her figure is particularly hazy. More than a dozen shadow, see the patrol from the bodyguard. As soon as the figure was swept away, the sword was wielded. The sword was shining in the moonlight, whirling in the air, wiping the wind and howling, and attacking the bodyguard straightly. All of a sudden, there was a sound of swords touching each other. Kang! All of a sudden, there was a sound of swords touching each other. A touch of purple light soared down and cut off more than 10 sharp swords. Pa pa pa! The broken sword fell to the ground with a piercing sound. The patrolling bodyguards were suddenly surprised, and then they came back to their senses. Brush and draw out the sword in a moment to be on guard. However, when he saw the cloud dance, he was in a daze, but soon he called respectfully, "Miss Nine." "Miss Nine." When the man in black heard that the bodyguard called Miss Cloud Dance Nine, a look of surprise appeared in his cold eyes. "Is she Miss Yun Jiajiu? The purple pupil girl the master has been looking for?" Yunwu glanced back at the guards and motioned them to leave. The bodyguard nodded hesitantly, but did not leave, but stood not far away to watch, waiting for a fight at any time. "Are you the saint of the witch race?" The man in black, who took the lead, was cold in his voice. He looked at the black eyes of Cloud Dance, and the eyes were gloomy. Purple pupil, but black pupil. It turned out that the girl knew how to disguise. No wonder they couldn't find it all the time. But recently, it has been said that Miss Nine in Yunfu is the summoner, and the master has determined her identity, so it can't be wrong. Cloud Dance cold hold a smile. "The question of the dead, is it necessary to answer?" As soon as the man in black's face changed, he hummed coldly, "Little girl, you are really big. Then give me your life." In an instant, the man in black took out his spare sword and attacked the cloud. The strength of these people in black is above the samurai, and even the martial saint, a dozen people. The cloud dances under the eye ground unusual overcast cold. This time, the people sent here really cost money. Cloud Dance doesn't have any hesitation, instantly summons Small Stink, Lan Yu, Bai Shuer, and Hung Ling. Ma. It's fun. Wow, so many delicious food, I want to eat a full meal. Master. Cloud Dance. After the four lights flashed out, Yunwu looked at them, and drew a cold and murderous tone in the corner of his mouth. "Anyone who breaks into Yunfu today, don't let go of them, dead." See, Cloud Dance that words fall, Red Ling and Small Stink early excited eyes shine. Lan Yu and Bai Shuer are murderous. Yes, for Shousheng, extremely excited murderous. The next second, without waiting for those people in black to react from their astonishment, four figures had already rushed away. The ruthlessness of the fight is absolutely shocking. If someone else saw this scene, it would be possible for them to pee. The summoner of the 4th department? The news is true. This is a girl. It's a multi-department summoner. However, even though the assassins in black were frightened, they could only spare no effort. Otherwise, I'm afraid I have to explain it here. What a pity. Not for a moment. There are more than a dozen people in black, half of them are miserable, and their broken limbs and intestines are bloody. It's like a meat grinder fight. Let the rest of the people in black, one by one almost pale. On the other hand, the guards of the Cloud family, who were watching the battle, did not look at the scene in front of them or were scared. This is their Cloud 9 misstrength? It's too, however, it is at this time. A servant girl covered her bleeding arm and ran over. Her face was pale. She looked at the Cloud Dance and cried, "Miss Nine, something happened to the old master." Cloud Dance listened to words, eyes suddenly a lift, in the hand black flame big knife chili kill idea. Schwa. The purple and black fighting spirit poured into the broadsword and made a stroke in the air. A strong dark breath pierced the sky. A man in black was knocked to the ground in an instant. His chest had been cut off in half, and his internal organs were flowing out. The moment the man in black fell, a very cold angry shout spread, "You clean up here." None of them. The voice just dropped. I didn't wait for the little stink to respond. The first mock exam of Cloud Dance suddenly blurred and disappeared instantly. When the servant girl and the bodyguard look at Yunwu again, where is her figure? As soon as Yunwu arrived at Yunqi's residence, he saw Yunqi fall to the ground and a dozen assassins stabbed him. Cloud Dance Mao Guang suddenly a cold, black flame big knife break empty but go. Chong chong. The dagger just fell on Yunqi's chest, which blocked him from a fatal blow. More than a dozen long swords came against the black flame dagger on his chest, sonorous with a flame-like spark. 9 girls. Yunqi saw the moonlight in the air, and his eyes flashed a trace of joy. Cloud Dance twisted one eye. Cloud Chi pale facial expression, and faint breath, Phoenix Mao tiny mi, bloodthirsty scarlet thoroughly bloom in the dark night. How dare you hurt him? I want you to pay for your lives. A deep voice, like climbing out of hell, was so low that everyone could hear it clearly. All of a sudden, the whole sky seemed to be angry because of her anger. The clouds covered by the night turned into red clouds and burned half of the sky through the darkness. Such a change completely shocked the presence of those assassins in black. Can't help looking at the sky, eyes suddenly surprised. Then, glancing at the Cloud Dance, the surprise turned into panic. This is Miss Nine. What a powerful breath. But at this time, one of the men in black took advantage of the opportunity. Suddenly, he took out a dagger from his sleeve and quickly attacked Yunqi again. Cloud Dance eyes cold kill mi. Bang! A touch of dark purple fighting spirit suddenly hit on the knife. With a clang of the sword, the fighting spirit rebounded and dispersed, and the assassin was repulsed by this power for more than 10 steps. Yunwu comes to Yunqi and helps him up. Looking at him sweating, pale, clouds cannot help flashing scarlet, cold and gloomy. Are you okay? He asked. It's okay. This old bone can hold on. The Cloud Chi Dynasty Cloud Dance relaxes a smile, but in the Mao light is to endure the facial expression of a silk ache. Cloud Dance naturally saw the abnormality in his eyes. All of a sudden, Cloud Dance in the heart of anger, wind up, around the chill to the freezing point, the night has condensed a bit. Yunwu asks the bodyguard to take Yunqi down to heal. With a black flame sword in his hand, his cold eyes glance at the assassins. Who let you blood wash Cloud Mansion? The sound of fury, like ice, reverberates in the night, which makes people feel trembling when they hear it. The assassin looked at the scarlet in Yunwu's eyes. He was surprised for a second. He was shocked at the bottom of his heart. Does this look like a person? How to feel like an angry hell devil? Not really. Then go to hell with your loyalty. Cloud Dance roars angrily, and the power of evil bite in the body surges out with the full power of erosion. For a moment, the dark smell from the clouds around. The night under the clear moonlight falls into darkness. The assassin looked at the cloud dancing like ghosts. For a moment, he was so frightened that he could not move at all. No, I can't move. What's going on? The darkness was as black as ink, and there was a certain smell in the air, as if it had locked them one by one. At the moment of Cloud Dance, green silk like ghosts, a pair of star eyes with a different scarlet, it looks not only bloodthirsty and cold, but also a bit spooky. Master, didn't the master say she was a saint? Why don't you feel holy now? It's a kind of evil, dark, gloomy feeling, like a devil from hell. It makes people feel fear rising in their hearts. Suddenly, the assassin watched the Cloud Dance and tried to break away from the immovable situation. The breath of darkness, like a snake, divided into dozens and attacked the assassin. Shupu. The sound of the heart being penetrated still reverberates in the air. I saw that the black chest of more than a dozen assassins was full of dark air with the holes as big as fingers. There was a smell of corrosive blood in the air. More than a dozen assassins almost at the same time, the pupil continues to enlarge, unbelievable looking at the clouds. Is she people? Unfortunately, this doubt, even before they died, could not know. After Yunfu came, the bodyguard who stayed in the distance all the time couldn't close his mouth when he saw this scene. His eyes came from the assassin and moved to Yunwu's back again. Is that Miss Nine? Although we have heard the news that Miss Nine is the summoner of the birth of the Cloud family. She also said that she had excellent talent and martial arts skills. But is that too strong? In an instant, he solved more than 10 people in black. In the face of people in black who are good at night, he was also killed. Is that too bad? And the dark power, the suffocating and gloomy fear. What is it? When Yunwoo stops killing, she immediately controls the power of magic bite. A moment later, the strange smell of darkness suddenly disappeared, and the night returned to its original color. Everyone was stunned again. This suddenly, Cloud Dance vaguely heard the sound of fighting in the front hall, and his eyes flashed a sharp edge. Miss 9. The bodyguards seemed to react at this time and remember that the Cloud family crisis was not the time to be in a daze. However, without waiting for the guard to call, the figure of Cloud Dance has long disappeared, leaving only a sharp whirl. The bodyguards looked in the air and were stunned again. But this time, they reacted quickly and chased them on foot with a knife in the courtyard outside the front hall. There were bursts of wails and groans. The bodyguards of Yunfu have injured more than 10 people, including 7 or 8 dead. And there are a lot of bodyguards who are resisting the attack of the assassins in black. But because in the dark, the assassin attack is always a sneak attack. In addition, the assassin's strength is above the samurai, and the bodyguards are too busy to take care of him. Cloud Dance looking at the ground of 7 or 8 corpses, deep eyes extremely sharp. Get out of the way. With a loud roar, the guards who were fighting with the assassins dodged to one side as soon as they saw that it was Cloud Dancing. In the next second, Yunwoo's sword, already dyed with the power of fierce Zizi, roared through the obstacles and attacked. Bang! There was a loud roar of the sword. In response, the man in black dodged and stepped back, barely standing firm. Dust, hazy vision, filled with the night. When the line of sight becomes clear. When people looked at the scene in front of them, they were all slightly stunned, wailing and groaning, which stopped in an instant, and they were strangely quiet. Only a half-meter wide gully separated the man in black from the guards of Yunfu. The gully was more than 1 meter deep, as if it had been deliberately polished by someone, and the 2 sides were extremely smooth. Everyone looked at the Cloud Dance, and their eyes were full of surprise. This is what she just hit by the sword, just sword chi. Can you cut such a domineering gully? How strong is Miss 9? The guards of the Cloud family looked at Yunwoo and her bloodthirsty and cold look, and their eyes were respectful to the gods. This is the 9th miss of their Cloud family. You all step back. Cloud Dance glanced at the bodyguards, eyes cold. Then, lift mouth to stare at the person in black, one eye, ice thorough way. Your master is who? Oh, you don't deserve to know the name of our master, is it? Cloud Dance mouth a yang, in the hand of the black flame big knife burning, step by step toward the man in black. Every step is like death. As if to tell them, your life, the deadline. The man in black looked at the figure that Cloud Dance was approaching, and he didn't know that he would step back. Her messy green silk is scattered in the wind. Under the moonlight, the cold and matchless face is even colder, and the bloodthirsty eyes are chilling. The assassin in black retreated almost subconsciously. But suddenly, a cold light passed by in the night. With a wave of the sword in Yunwoo's hand, the powerful force attacked him and cut off the head in front of him in an instant. Come on. That's very fast. Plasma splashed out, stained with the edge of the sword, also dyed with her awe-inspiring floating purple clothes. The man in black looked at the rolling head on the ground, and a look of surprise flashed in his murderous eyes. But in the twinkling of an eye, look a turn, a touch of cruel cold emerge. Almost in an instant. That group of people in black, immediately swift and violent hand, like hungry tigers and sheep, straight attack clouds and go. Like a sneer from the corner of Cloud Dance's mouth, the bottom of his eyes is just a touch, which belongs to the killer's lust. Kill. For her, she is the most familiar and hot-blooded. Today, she will show them what is real killing. Blood-washed Cloud House, right? Then she let everyone know that Yunfu is not the place where they want to come. Come, leave your life. There was a twinkling of cold for almost a while. Blood, almost all over the ground. But the purple figure is like a meat grinder, and the assassins are the meat in the front row. No matter how they attack, assassinate, fight or attack. It seems that the end is the same. Die. The guards of Yunfu, who had just stepped back, looked at the bloody, ferocious head, corpse, amputation on the ground one by one, their faces changed slightly. However, the hot blood in those eyes seemed to be ignited by this scene, with incomparable horror and excitement. Looking at the falling man in black and the bloody purple clothes of Yunwu, I completely forget the pain on my body. Miss 9. This is the 9th miss of their Cloud family. Smaller body, but holding a big knife. Killing people is like looking at turnips, one by one, unambiguous. However, that momentum was enough to shock everyone present. The whole courtyard of Yunfu is already full of blood, and the smell of blood is full of all people's senses. Yunwu was dressed in purple, and now she was blood-stained and embarrassed, but she couldn't hide her cool and resolute breath. And the black flame broadsword on her hand has been completely baptized by blood, through the dense black flame, become a bit ferocious. Cloud Dance looked at the last man in black not far away, standing bloodthirsty and awe-inspiring, with a perfect arc in the corner of his mouth. Who is your master? After that, she lowered her eyes, raised the sword in her hand and touched the blood on it. The scarlet color on her eyes became deeper, with a touch of darkness, to die. The assassin in black, who was still standing, saw all his comrades in the pool of blood. His eyes were ferocious and roared, and a sword came dancing towards the clouds. Cloud Dance Mao Guang a cold, the corner of the mouth slightly a yang, it seems that you haven't realized yet. Shua. A touch of cold passed by. The man in black jumped up in the air and stopped abruptly. In a twinkling of an eye, he saw that the man in black fell to the ground in an instant. People look at Cloud Dance hand knife fall, so natural and unrestrained, looking at Cloud Dance eyes, can't hide the horror. So many people in black don't even have the chance to make a move. They are like a doll, and they are free to be slaughtered by her. How high is her strength? Once upon a time, Miss 9 is so beautiful now. The bodyguards trembled again. Stunned Cloud Dance finally glanced at the man in black who fell on the ground, took the big knife back into space, looked back at the guards who were stunned behind, and said coldly, "Throw them into the wolf's nest." "Yes, Miss 9. The crowd responded quickly and nodded respectfully. Yunwu has finished dealing with the assassins here, and Xiao Chou has just dealt with the assassins from other places and returned. Ma. Master. Looking at the 4 guys, they are all well, and Cloud Dance will let them return to the contract space first. Now, it's better to hide some cards. You'll go back to your space for a rest. I'm afraid there will be a lot of trouble in the near future. I need your help at that time. Xiaoxieka and Hongling are mischievous, but they are also very clever. All of a sudden, he didn't say anything, but immediately entered the space. And after Lan Yu sees Cloud Dance, he nods to her, changes into blue light, and enters the contract ring. Bai Shuer didn't say anything. She went back to space consciously. At this time, Yunwu doesn't stop. He comes to Yunqi's room and meets the maid coming out of the room. How's it going? Cloud Dance glanced inside the room and looked back. Miss Huijiu, the old master didn't recover from the injury that day. Today, he used too much strength, which made the injury more serious. But it's no big problem. He just needs to rest and have a rest. The Cloud dances to smell speech. Tiny jaw head, the worried look in the eyes concealed to go down. Miss 9, are you going in? The servant girl looks at Cloud Dance body bloodstained spot, green silk disorderly float to scatter, some are embarrassed, probing to ask away. Cloud Dance Mao light tiny low, pondered for a while, lift Mao Wei, can't, take good care of grandfather. After that, Yunwu turned away and disappeared into the night. Although her water element has healing power, her internal injury cannot be cured. The servant girl looks at the figure that she leaves, in the eyes eventually can't help but emerge a look of adoration. The news has spread. One man killed dozens of people in black and was unhurt. Is this Miss Nine the same old lady? Of course, it can't be. It's just that she's only been away from the Cloud family for a few months, and she's become so powerful. It's amazing. Cloud danced walking in the night, eyes clear, thinking about the context of this matter. Xiao Wu, there's another one here. You can put his head away, too. In the night, a slightly smiling voice rang out. Yunwu stops and looks up at the source of the sound on the tree. After seeing the person clearly, her eyes narrowed slightly, and the bottom of her eyes flitted by a trace of incomprehension. How could he be here? Xiao Wu, you look a little scary. Situ Lan looked at the blood-stained Cloud dance and shook his head slightly. But he thought in his heart that the guy's taste for women was really unique. The Cloud dances a cold glance that Situ Lan one eye. But then, his eyes turned to a black assassin who was hung on the tree by him, and his eyes narrowed slightly. The initial strength of Wusheng. The assassin in black, whose strength was in the early days of Wusheng, was hanged on the tree without dignity. What's more, there's no resistance, and it's just the most common rope that binds him. Cloud dance coagulates Situ Lan, and the light of eyes flashes by. How high is the strength of Situ Lan? Situ Lan touched Yunwu's gaze, raised a warm smile and jumped down from the tree. He told me everything. It seems that he was instigated by some snow or willow, but I think there is someone behind him. The Cloud dances and hears the words, and there is a trace of killing in the eye. Snow willow. It's her. She understood what Situ Lan meant. If it wasn't for someone behind him to wash the general's house, how could he have made such a mistake with Shuoyo's mind? Even if they dare to commit crimes, they can never be so blatant. Even if the Cloud house has no real power now, it's not a small matter before the bloody wash of the general's house, is it? Cloud dance half squints a mouse son, seemed to have thought of the whole affair of the course of events. It's a chain reaction. What's the reference book, what's the most afraid of using power for personal gain, and the ultimate goal is now. Thank you for your information. I have something else to do. I'll leave this person to you to play slowly. Cloud dance glances at him, the corners of his mouth are tight, and turns around to leave. Well, what are you going to do? Situ Lan looked at Yunwu's leaving figure, and in a flash, blocked Yunwu's way. Cloud dance tiny cu eyebrow, star mouth flits past a wipe not to bear, still have a matter. You're not going to kill that woman now, are you? Situ Lan slightly picks eyebrow, some surprised of can't believe of looking at her. So what? Cloud dance did not understand of glanced at him, the eye ground of doubt emerge. How did he show up in Yunfu? By chance? Or did you get the news in advance? Maybe he's been following her secretly. Anyway, she didn't notice his appearance. This is really unpleasant. No sense of security. Situ Lan looked at Yunwu's suspicious eyes, and the corners of his mouth twitched. Don't think about it anymore. I just happened to pass by. Seeing that I needed help, I solved it by the way. By the way, he is an assassin of Wusheng. By the way, it's extremely easy to say. However, Cloud dance didn't say much at this time. Yunwu drew back her eyes and went on over him. Although, the mood is not happy, but she is not stupid, with this Si-Tu Lan and Long Qingxie's understanding. It must be Long Qingxie who asked him to protect her secretly. But there is a problem that she has been very curious about. Situ Lan's martial arts strength is unpredictable, and he is the only successor of the Kingdom of An. It goes without saying that he is powerful. How can you listen to the dragon? Situ Lan looked at Yunwu's back, shrugged, and didn't stop him. Well, this woman is so cruel. The queen wants to wash Cloud House with blood. How can she not return it? Let her make trouble. At worst, she can handle it herself. Even if she can't handle it, isn't there him? He doesn't mind. Give him a reason. He raised a warm and evil smile at the corner of his mouth, and a phantom disappeared in Yunfu. In the middle of the night is quiet. In the back palace. What did you say? A cold voice broke the silence. Master, the people sent they were all killed. The leader who secretly monitors the action of the man in black trembles slightly. Waste. Snow Willow's sullen voice was filled with anger, and the chair nearby was smashed in an instant. Where is she now? However, without waiting for the man in black to answer, a sudden voice came. Here it is. Suddenly, a phantom came, and the strong smell of blood filled the bedroom hall. The purple figure walked towards the Snow Willow step by step. After seeing the cloud dance, the Snow Willow was shocked for a moment, and then sneered, I didn't expect you sent it to me. Yunwu looks at Shuoyo with a sneer. When passing by the assassin leader, his fingers moved slightly. The figure of the man in black fell to the ground in an instant. The man in black pointed to the cloud dance and was surprised in his eyes. Then he vomited blood, dilated his pupils, struggled twice and died. Nothing seems to have been done. Didn't even feel a little murderous, just died. The Snow Willow pupil. I suddenly am I. Cloud dance glances at the dead man in black. The corners of his mouth outline a perfect arc, and there is no other expression in his eyes. Looking back again, looking at the Snow Willow with a smile, I sent you to take your life. The Snow Willow smell speech, the facial expression suddenly a dark, all around of the dark breath instant sharp. Do you think you can go out after entering the palace? Snow Willow beautiful eyes smile, cover the anger in the eyes, picked up the tea on the table and sipped. When I think of it, it's natural to get out. The cloud dances the Mao light to put on a cold idea to delimit, the corner of the mouth outlines of radiant, more and more forest cold. It's a place where you can come in and come out as soon as you want. Oh. You said it was so dangerous, but didn't I come in safe and sound? Cloud dance cold hum a, Mao Guang Yishan, black flame big knife already appeared in the hand. The Snow Willow glanced at the cloud dance. When she saw the big knife in her hand, the bottom of her beautiful eyes passed by. How can she completely control the ancient martial arts sword? However, Shuoyo quickly gathered his anger, put down his teacup, gracefully twisted the dust from the corner of his clothes, and suddenly came out with a long red sword. For eyes opposite, the collision of power instantly filled the whole bedroom. Almost in a flash. The clouds roared with the black flame sword, split in the air, attacked the Snow Willow, whirled with the strong power, and instantly attacked the whole palace. Snow Willow red sword is strange and charming. It seems to be able to change its strength and size at will. When the two collided, it was the moment of volcanic eruption, the moment of spark and lightning, with two unique lights, lightning and thunder shining throughout the bedroom. And all this. They are all separated by the space boundary of cloud dance, so the guards outside the palace will not find out at all. They fought for a long time, but only tied. As a member of the dark family of the witch clan, Shuoyo's strength should not be underestimated. At the beginning, in the ruins of the Beast Gate, Yunwu nearly killed her with the third impact of awakening. This time, Yunwu is really fighting with her own strength. For Shuoyo's strength, she has a deep heart. So, this time, no matter what, Shuoyo's life is up to her. The cloud dances the cool mouse sun to stare at a Snow Willow, the corner of the mouth slightly outlines, with you play tired of, your life, I want now. Snow Willow face suddenly a een. Originally, she wanted to commit suicide. Yunwu was relieved, so she kept looking for her whereabouts, but she didn't think that this time, her strength rose again. God is so kind to her. The black fighting spirit of Snow Willow, dyed with a black fire, flies away in the air in an instant, with a fierce killing intention, burning the bedroom strongly. The cloud dance sees this, the corner of the mouth is cold yang, the eye ground is incomparably cold. Who without hesitation, with a wave of the big knife, he threw out the purple fighting spirit and cut straight at the Snow Willow. The Snow Willow's eyes suddenly shrank and her figure swept away. But still a step late, saw her that arm, had been black flame big knife cut a hole. Shuoyo looked at the bloody wound on her arm. Her eyes were fierce and dignified, and her killing intention suddenly rose all around, looking for death. Suddenly, her palm was empty, and the air flowed back. In the cloud dance not far away, I suddenly felt that my neck was half pinched by something. I couldn't move or breathe at all. I strangled my neck with fierce strength and felt suffocated. Snow Willow beautiful eyes smile, smile of some ferocious. Looking at the cloud dance, her eyes were dark, and her strength on her hand increased continuously, and her smile spread. Do you know what I want to see most all the time is to watch you die in pain and struggle bit by bit. If it's not for the bloodline your mother left you, you think you can live to 15 years old. You're a bastard and dare to fight with me. Snow Willow's voice died with extremely sharp cold. However, it also has, at this time is about to pull out the heart of the thorn comfortable. Is that right? Cloud Dance eyes quietly staring at the Snow Willow, mouth light up. However, it is at this time. Yunwoo suddenly closed his eyes slightly, gave up the struggle, did not move, looked like waiting to die. The Snow Willow looks at the appearance of Cloud Dance, haha a smile, the corner of Dark Mang's mouth in Ruthless hook, the strength on the hand increases again. I want to break Yunwoo's neck. Suddenly, Yunwoo opens her eyes again. In the cold purple eyes, there is a black mist. The dark eyes are like the bottomless black abyss, which makes people unable to look directly at them. With a touch of horror. She can't move her eyes. What's going on? Snow Willow pupil eyes shrink, eyes suddenly a surprised, looking at the cloud purple black pupil eye, face suddenly a change. What's the matter with this dark smell? How could she have such a strong sense of suffocation and swallowing? How could she know how to control the mind? However, in the next second, in Shuoyo's surprised purple eyes, a touch of darkness was suddenly reflected. Ah! Shua bang! With a scream, swallowing breath, as if in an instant hit. Shuoyo's whole person was thrown out in an instant, the whole person was thrown under the table trembled and fell to the ground. Half a ring. Snow Willow reluctantly stood up in the ruins of the table, mouth overflowing with blood, looking at the clouds of a flash of purple eyes, there is surprise and anger. Do you know how to control the mind? And what about the dark power in you? Cloud Dance cold a smile, smile of some irony. This Snow Willow knows the Imperial Mind skill, and it is estimated that she has been in contact with it. But does she think she can see the magic power of her body unless she wants her to see it? The dead don't need to know the answer. The voice of Cloud Dance, with a strange sneer. Shuoyo's eyes are full of anger. Good. Today, I'll show you what a dead man is. Snow Willow ferocious voice a fall, almost no hesitation, the figure has been rapid. Cloud Dance hit. Cloud Dance looks at the shadow like a mirage, the corner of the mouth slightly a hook, purple pupil in the dark reappear. Yes? I really want to see it. A very light voice, however, the words just fell. Brush. Suddenly, the magic power burst out from the Cloud Dance. Suddenly, the whole palace fell into darkness. At that moment, the figure of Shuoyo was wrapped in it. As if he had found something, he quickly went into the Snow Willow. In a moment, all the dark forces in the palace gathered on the Snow Willow. The power of magic bite is beyond anyone's imagination. Suddenly. Ah! The scream of Snow Willow resounded. Cloud Dance's eyes flashed a trace of cold, looking at the darkness, a bloodthirsty smile was blooming at the corner of his mouth. She said that she owes her, sooner or later, she will pay back 100 times 1,000 times. This Snow Willow is just the first one. Situ Lan, who had been hiding in the corner, saw this scene, and his mouth was slightly crooked. It seems that his worry is superfluous. This woman is more terrible and powerful than he imagined. Then Situ Lan's figure disappeared into the night. Inside the palace. The dark power disappeared in mid-air, and the figure of Snow Willow suddenly fell to the ground like a pool of soft mud. By candlelight. Her dark and beautiful face, now sweating, pale as paper, dressed in a golden phoenix robe, was torn by the dark forces, and there was a blood mark in every wound. The Snow Willow looks at the cloud dance, a pair of beautiful ruthless creepy, you, how can you have evil bite? She has seen the power of magic bite, but shouldn't it have been taken away by the little lord? What happened to her? Besides, she seems to be manipulating it. Smell speech, cloud dance as if heard what funny sound, cold awe of smile. You know a lot, but I remember when you said that the more you know, the faster you die. Suddenly, the moment that the voice of cloud dance falls. Brush. The figure disappeared in an instant. When she blinked again, her figure appeared again, as if the moment when she disappeared was just an illusion. Not bad. At this time, the situation seems to be reversed. In the quiet and bloody dormitory, the grim and awe-inspiring killing intention is frightening, and the rapid and cold breathing sound is constantly whirling. Snow Willow looked at his chest, fist so big hole, beautiful eyes Zheng ran. At this time, she didn't feel any pain at all. She just looked at the penetrating chest. Snow Willow, that pair of fierce eyes, a no reaction. Blood flowed down the golden phoenix robe, blooming with a bloody scarlet. You. Snow Willow Daimea coagulation, cold eyes, pain shrinking, unbelievable looking at the clouds, like to see a night death. The noble and beautiful figure fell to the ground with a thump. After that, there was no movement, charming and plain eyes, no focus to look at the clouds. Until the last moment, she could not believe that she had died in her hands. In such a ferocious and miserable way the cloud dances the corner of the mouth, the sharp sneer does not reduce, will the evil bite power control, finally coagulates one eye of the Snow Willow, disappeared in the bedroom. Quiet night, quiet bedroom, no exception, but revealed a very bloody taste. After Yunwu left, on the huge imperial palace wall, a shadow that is completely consistent with the night suddenly appears. The dark shadow looks at the figure leaving the cloud dance. The air around is fierce and cold. She's the witch awakening girl. It's not to be underestimated. After sneaking out of the palace, the sky was slightly pale, and a sudden cloud appeared at the intersection of the sky. Cloud danced out of the palace, did not immediately go back, but came to a mountain, standing on the top of the mountain, looking at the clouds in the distance, eyes swept a touch of meditation. Zhou Batian is extremely afraid of Yunfu. He wants to get rid of Yunfu completely with Shuoyou's hand. In the end, though, his goal was not achieved. But this matter, whether it is achieved or not, is good for him. This weak Batian, far less ignorant than the eyes of outsiders, he estimated that he had been worried about Shuoyou for a long time. Therefore, Shuoyou's death may have helped him instead. However, Zhou Batian will soon know that she killed Shuoyou. It's hard to guarantee that he won't take advantage of this incident to completely destroy Yunfu. Of course, there may be no evidence to prove that she killed Shuoyou, but for a political emperor, why is it difficult to find an excuse? It seems that we need to take some protective measures in advance. Neither can Zhou Batian feel that Yunfu is resisting, nor can he feel that Yunfu is a place where he can move whenever he wants. Thoughts drift by. Cloud Dance Tiny a lift Mao, instantly thought of that red fire dragon in Forbidden Area, the corner of the mouth can't help but hook up. Isn't there a ready-made guardian? When he thought about it, Yunwu could not help but feel back and get the red fire dragon out. However, just when Yunwu wants to turn around and leave, a strange smell suddenly appeared around her. Cloud Dance put down a foot, eyes raised to see a certain direction, a touch of scarlet cold swept by. Come all the time. I've been with you all night. Why hide your head and show your tail? Her voice fell. A dark figure came quietly and stood behind her. Yunwoo felt an extremely strange smell behind him, and his hair stood up, which was a kind of unspeakable and gloomy oppression. It was the first time that she felt this way since she came to mainland China. Even the breath on the ice of that ink night never made her feel so strange and oppressive. Cloud Dance lifted her eyes and turned around. A strange wind blew across her cheek. With a sharp chill, it hurt her skin. Looking at the figure not far away, Cloud Dancing eyes swept a touch of surprise. Is it human? Surrounded by dark and black haze, the whole person is completely consistent with the haze, except for a pair of eyes like an eagle. No other facial features can be seen. One is similar to Hyo, but completely different. Strange as he, let Cloud Dance feel some bottomless for the first time. However, a thin camel is bigger than a horse. No matter how tough a man is, he has his weakness. As long as he is a little tough, he will always be favored. Witch Saint, you are still alive. A light voice came into the cloud's ear, which was like a breeze, calm and without waves, but with a sharp cold. In that moment, Yunwoo felt a slight change on her arm. She dropped her eyes slightly and was shocked. A scratch appeared on the purple clothes. She clearly knew that the scratch was caused by the sound just now. Sharp power in the sound. Who on earth is he? We don't seem to know each other. Cloud Dance's eyes flash a trace of vigilance, squinting at the man, cold mouth. She knew she had asked a stupid question. This person came to her and called her saint, then it must be because of the witch clan 15 years ago. She doesn't know him. It's normal. But touching the man's strange dark eyes, Yunwoo seemed to feel that there was nothing to say to him. I don't know, but I'm going to kill you. In a word, make their position clear. Kill her. It turns out that many people want her life. This time, who sent it? Cloud Dance micro frown, eyes a squint, mouth stained with a smile. Oh, want to kill me too many people, how many do you count? That person hears speech, seemed to dance to the cloud that arrogant tone, but feel a haze. See, the fog and haze around stop for a moment, and then strange together, finally into human form. It's a ghost-like person with gray eyes, pale face and dark lips. The whole person is like a ghost living in the dark. It feels like a ghost in the daytime. Cloud Dance raised eyes to see a tiny white half sky, eyes mi. If this person lives in the sun, no matter where he goes, he will be regarded as a monster. However, at this time, he didn't seem to give Yunwoo that chance. Suddenly, a long sword came in the air, not fast, but with a strange power that could not be ignored. Cloud Dance's eyes passed a frost, and her figure flashed and dodged a blow. At the moment of relaxation, the haze sword suddenly turned and attacked Cloud Dance again. She hides and the sword turns again. Once, twice the cloud danced in the air, and his eyes glanced at the man. Suddenly, the black line floated on his forehead. I saw that the man just moved a middle finger, commanding the haze sword, and chased Yunwoo around. It can be seen that the strength of this man is much higher than that of Shuoyo. Damn it! Suddenly, Yunwoo's eyes were covered with scarlet, and the sword in her hand was cut away in the air. With her fierce anger, she was struck by force. She doesn't like to be so passive. The man was frivolous, and the powerful power of the sword was dodged by him. The cloud dances, the eye ground passes a touch of surprise. Just hide. Like walking in a leisurely court, escaping her powerful attack. Give you a chance, since you can't hurt me, I'll kill you. The voice, like a ghost, was buzzing again. Opportunities. Cloud Dance Mao Guanga Mi, the corner of the mouth bloodthirsty radiant rises, that try to see. Two of the dark breath flying away, with their own strong, split air chopping flow. Bang! In an instant, the dark power of magic bite collided with the haze darkness, and there was an instant roar. The ground also seems to have a burst. Cloud Dance is affected by the after effect of the strong power, and the body takes off and goes back a few steps. Poof! She felt the qi and blood churning in the dantian, a smell of fishy and sweet came out of her throat, and a mouthful of blood spurted out. The cloud dances, the light of the eyes narrows slightly, and the undercurrent surges in the bottom of the eyes. The turbulence of spiritual power in her chest seems to be due to the collision of haze power, which seems to be much greater than she imagined. She wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth, stood up and raised an evil radiance. That person sees cloud dance to stand up, the eye son of the Een evil also flits past, a put-on surprised, twinkling of an eye namely die. The strength of his body can isolate the strength of the other side from his own. Few of the people who have been hit by this attack are still alive. She was affected by both forces, not only did she not die, but she could still stand up even in the upper bound, such people are rare. It's kind of interesting, who is going to kill me? Anyway, I'm not your opponent. Why don't you let me die? Cloud Dance's eyes narrowed slightly, coagulating that person. She wanted to know who was the one who wanted to kill her this time. This person's strength should be above Mo Yibing, not under Mo Yibing. She really can't figure out, besides that Snow Willow and Mo Yibing, who else wants her life behind her back. No comment. The man's dark eyes moved, the palm turned, a black haze hit again, but the speed is not several times faster. Cloud Dance eyes a cold, palm flames suddenly rise, straight toward the black haze hit. After the burning flame, the element of water suddenly appears, boom. With a loud crash. Two figures at the same time back a few steps, the man also faltered a few steps, or stand firm. And Cloud Dance, half kneeling on the ground, sweating. That person coagulated a cloud to dance one eye, the appearance is a little embarrassed, the eyes of the evil sun is slightly dark, on the body dark haze breath, put on a layer of killing intention. I didn't expect you to be a girl, but you are really cunning. Cloud Dance Mao Guang Mi, the corner of the mouth raises to put on a sneer, Sen Han Wei, you all want my life, cunning for a while, excessive. Then give up your life. Suddenly, the man's arms crossed, and the smell of darkness and haze spread instantly. In a flash, everywhere the haze goes, the stones turn into foam. At this time, the sky has been lit up. A group of geese flying in mid-air, into the black haze, but directly into the ashes. What a powerful force to destroy. Cloud Dance looks at the destructive power of the dark haze, and a touch of surprise passes by. What is this amazing destructive power? Cloud Dance quickly set up a space boundary to resist the erosion of black haze. The fire element dye the body, and through the space boundary, it can break into the haze. Bang! With a loud bang, the fire element was swallowed back. Almost didn't give Cloud Dance reaction come over, her that purple figure, is hit by the fire element of reverse bite instantly fly. Disorderly in the rocks, constantly beating and rolling. Blood along the scratch all the way attack die, and finally hit a boulder, rebound stopped. Pain Cloud Dance supports the vague consciousness, the first feeling is the hot pain. This appearance of embarrassment, at the moment some more miserable, purple ragged, blood dye purple, has been unable to tell whose blood. Cloud Dance is lying on the ground, covering the chest to want to break out of what power, pale and twisted. The power in the body, as if to encounter some impact in general, constantly resist. For a moment, she seemed to have a sense of powerlessness in falling into the abyss. Can't resist, can only bear, Long Qingxie, who is far away in Longshu Kingdom, covers his chest, his mouth is overflowing with blood, and his eyes are filled with deep and panic. Did Moyao resist her? Is she in big trouble, damn it? At this time, he was not with her. Protect her as fast as you can for me. Dragon Qing evil scarlet eyes, low roar. Yes, I don't know where a respectful voice came from. Long Qingxie's eyes were scarlet and bloodthirsty, and he sat on the ground with a look of pain, reading something in his mouth. After a while, his face became more and more pale, sweating, as if he was suffering a lot, but he was stubborn and refused to let go. How are you doing, girl here. Bai Lao feels the pain of Cloud Dance and wakes up. Cloud Dance can't use mind at all, and can't answer Bai Lao's words. Her eyes closed, bean-like sweat fell on the gravel, and her blood fusion, a cold face as white as snow. Bai Lao quickly used his spiritual power to help her control the power in her body. But the power of Moya is beyond his control. Bai Lao persisted for a while. Although it worked, his spiritual power also consumed a lot. Girl, the opponent may be a person in the upper bound. The ability is above you. You are not his opponent. I will use the last strength to control the strength in your body, and you will take the opportunity to escape. Yunwu couldn't speak, but she listened to Bai Lao's words. People in the upper world? Before, she had heard from Gao Song, Shangjie. Although it is not clear what the upper bound is about, it is definitely more powerful than that in this human realm. Just look at the power of the ordinary spirit beast in the upper world not long ago. We can see the difference between the upper bound and the lower bound. Just, what did the upper bound people do when they came to the mainland of China? Bai Lao's own spiritual power gathered in one place to help Yunwu control Magic Bite, only to find that it only played an instant role. And the black pride in the Chaos Hall is also ugly at this time. Because, he found that his power was not only unable to help her control, but also eroded by the evil power. Girl, I want to guard Dantian. In the mind, is echoing the black arrogant voice. Cloud Dance has no way to respond, so it can only hasten to guard Dantian. But the effect is obvious, not much effect. The white old man in the necklace frowned slightly, and his breath was weak. He said, I tried my best, but I still can't help it. Now I can only rely on him. What about him? Who is he? Yunwu wanted to ask, but found that the mind could not convey the past. She felt that the strange haze power on the man behind her was approaching her, with a strong sense of killing and coldness. She wanted to move, but found that the pain in her body did not allow her to move. It won't be here, will it? Cloud Dance Mao light dark heavy, in the heart but secretly swear, if she can restore strength, she certainly beat to fly him. Even if it can only hurt him a scar, she will never escape. It's over. Suddenly, the dark haze, with strange power, came back to the Cloud Dance bang. The sound of boulders breaking. With the loud noise dispersed, gravel flying, dust rolling, the black haze figure instantly flew out. In the dust. I saw a purple figure standing aloof, green silk attack ran, eyes scarlet looking at the black shadow flying out, mouth dyed Shura smile. At this time, she exudes a dark atmosphere that does not belong to her, filled with her cool figure, abrupt but harmonious. But just now that person, is hit flies dozens of meters, falls awkwardly on the ground, looks at the distant Cloud Dance, the evil eye sun, reveals a touch of disbelief. She actually devouring the power of his blow? How is that possible? But looking at the dark haze from Yunwu, it's really his power in the blow just now. He clearly saw that there was something powerful in her body that was making trouble. With her present strength, it was impossible to control that thing. How could he have the strength to fight back against him? Yunwu looks at the completely flat power in her body and frowns slightly. What's going on? The first second, she still felt the unbearable feeling of bursting, the second after that feeling completely disappeared, and the power came back. It seems that in addition to the pain on the surface of the body, there is no pain in the body. Cloud Dance squints eyes, there is a touch of uneasy premonition in the heart. Is it suddenly, her eyes suddenly a eyes such as blade, looking at the distance of the shadow. Incomparably cold way, look, only killed you, just enough this. Oh. The man not far away gave out a smile. Then, he saw the man stand up, eyes dark, I'm looking forward to experiencing the moment of death. Yes? That's what you want. With a cold voice, the black flame dagger attacked fiercely. Cloud Dance is like a shuttle. She feels that the power of Magic Bite in her body can be used better. The man's pupil narrowed. It seemed that for the first time he really faced up to the opponent of Yunwu and used his real skills. Clang, clang. The impact of the two forces and the spread of the afterwave broke many rocks around. After dozens of moves, they were tied. The man looked at the cloud in doubt, and his eyes were surprised again. She was in the early stage of Wuzuan, but he was in the middle stage. Although there was only one stage difference, there was an obvious gap in strength. What's more, he's a man in the upper world. Can this girl draw with him? Is it because of her blood? Or, according to legend, she has a lot of advanced martial arts talents. Either way, she can't keep it. The opposition between the two dark bodies is doomed to have only one standing. It's just 1 second when the man is meditating. Yunwu's eyes were extremely cold. He turned the black flame sword in his hand and waved it to him with 5 elements of wind, wood, water, fire and earth. The man was startled and swept away. He thought that with his strength, he would be able to avoid the blow. But did not expect, swept to the mid-air body, was hit by something, suddenly bounced back. Just hit by Yunwu's powerful sword and 5 elements. Cloud Dance looked at the figure falling to the ground, slightly stunned. What's going on? Someone else ran away and ran into him. This guy's not stupid, is he? After all, she found that the anomaly that bounced him back was the boundary of space. The cloud danced to sweep One-Eye Mountain Peak all around, didn't discover what person, slightly frown, in the Mao light flit over a cloud of suspicion. Who helped her with the border? The 5 elements plus the power of the sword, not to mention the people in the upper world, even the people made of iron can't stand the strike of hitting the viscera steadily. I saw the man fall to the ground, face ferocious, pain curled up. The cloud dances coldly and arrogantly to stand at that person's top, sidelong at him. One eye, the corner of the mouth is sketching the smile of a touch of creepy, the black flame big knife in the hand is cold light. Take a word for me and say, this is a big gift I gave him. Let him give me a good. Cloud Dance roared, picked up the big knife, put the tip of the knife in the position of the man's heart. The smile of the corner of the mouth was more and more cold. You. The man looked at the clouds, the eyes of the evil looking at her unbelievably. What else did I want to say, but Cloud Dance Mao light tiny mi, sneer way, all the way good. She raised her hand high and gave it a good shake. Kang. The cold light of the sharp edge passed by, and the trembling sound of the sword's clang landing refused. The man raised his head and looked at the black flame sword on his chest. His eyes were dull and stiff. He moved his eyes to Yunwu. You are really a wizard. He did not speak. Bang, head fell to the ground. That pair of stiff eyes still reflected the cloud blood attack purple figure. On the top of the mountain, the sun is shining. That spread blood, some embarrassed figure, still in a proud and cool attitude, overlooking the sky of China. She's okay. Let me take a message. It's a big gift from her to make you well. The voice of the void rings again. Dragon inclined evil eyes a smile, spread out the palm, looking at the power of ascension, pale lips stiff pull out a evil smile. This little thing is always in trouble all night. Yunwu killed many people. When she came back to Yunfu in the air, everyone looked at her purple clothes dyed into blood red. They all widened their eyes, but they didn't dare to ask. Yunwu doesn't bother to pay attention to it. She washes herself with water, changes into a clean white dress, and goes back to the room to sleep. After a busy night, she needed to catch up on sleep. In particular, the out-of-control of this magic bite made her body need great strength. When I woke up again, it was noon. And the queen was assassinated by assassins, has been widely spread. 9 girls. Yunchi knocks on the door of Yunwu room. Yunwu frowned slightly, but he still got up and opened the door. When he came in, he said, "What's the matter, grandfather?" Cloud Chi looks at Cloud Dance, a pair of sharp eyes pass by a touch of worry. 9 wenches, is the business of the imperial palace that you do? What's the matter? Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrow to see to Cloud Chi, picked up the tea on the table to sip. It's about the queen being killed. Seeing that Yunwoo didn't admit it, Yunchi couldn't help frowning. He quickly sat opposite Yunwoo, and a loud voice began to ring. Yunwoo glanced at him and frowned slightly. This old man, with such a loud voice, is he afraid that others will not hear him? Yunchi also felt a little loud. He glanced back at the door, looked at Yunwoo again, and lowered his voice. Are you? Well, if so, what's grandfather going to do? Cloud Dance put down the teacup way. Cloud Chi smells speech facial expression is instantly iron green, really is you? Cloud Dance see this, not from Mao Guang am I, he this is angry. Do you know how powerful the demon queen is? Go alone. What if something goes wrong? Next time there is such a dangerous thing, please call your grandfather. Yunchi's eyebrows are horizontal, and he stares at Yunwoo with anger. Cloud Dance. Is that why he came to her in a hurry? And then it's like this. However, to be honest, her heart was warm when she heard this. At least, the old man really cares about her. Just, see Cloud Chi this full face really angry appearance, Cloud Dance can't help but pull the corner of the mouth, the eye bottom but flit a silk helpless, sigh of shake head. It's said that it's dangerous. How can we still pull him? It is estimated that the news of Shuoyo's death has been known all over the city, and the palace will be the most turbulent one. Zhou Feiyu, who has been blocked by her, has lost one of her most difficult opponents. The Crown Prince Zhou Tianyu, without one of the biggest backers, is the most cost-effective one. Zhou Feiyu is deep and shrewd, holding a heavy hand. Although Zhou Tianyu also has a plan, he is just a cage bird. How can he fight Zhou Feiyu, the soaring eagle? The final result seems obvious. However, Zhou Feiyu also has a thorny problem of people's will. If he wants to be righteous and seize power, he must win people's support. Naturally, the power of the Cloud family will not be included. Now, in addition to himself, the most valuable thing in the court is that Lu Jiang has won. But Cloud Dance can be sure that Zhou Tianyu is the winner of Lu Jiang, so it still needs some opportunities to win. The Cloud Dance is to hook up the corner of mouth, in the eyes peeps out a fine on. What she was most worried about was the loyalty of the Yunfu family to serve the country. What she wanted to do was to estimate what national interests would conflict in the future. Isn't it an opportunity for Yunfu to be cut off? In this way, she was less worried. Yunwu went out of the window and sniffed the fragrance of flowers in the breeze. He was a little relieved. He didn't know what happened to Longqingxi. Does magic bite affect his body? However, it's no use worrying too much at this time. She needs to finish these trifles and help him. She slightly raised the corner of her mouth. Should come. Miss Nine, the emperor asked you to come to Zuixinlo. At this time, the voice of the servant girl came in outside the door. The Cloud Dances the Mao Light 1 come of return really quick. I see. Shuoyo's death, it is estimated that the happy person is the emperor who is her husband. Although I don't know why Zhou Batian, who is clearly afraid of the queen, has spoiled her for so many years, there must be something unknown to outsiders. However, this time Shuoyo's death, I don't know whether it helped him to relieve his heart trouble. Or did it upset his plan? Or, let him start to worry. The Cloud family has her as a summoner. If it can't be collected, it's estimated that after this meeting, the Cloud family will be completely classified as a forbidden area no longer trusted. This is the result she wants, Zuixinlu, VIP room on the second floor. When Yunwu came into the room, Zhou Batian was the only one in the room. Your Majesty, are you looking for me? The Cloud dances slightly, but it is neither humble nor overbearing. Zhou Batian put down his teacup, looked at Yunwu and motioned her to sit down. Did you hear about the queen? Zhou Batian looked at Cloud Dance dimly and sighed. Cloud Dance tiny jaw head, drooping eyes light way, air, just heard the rumor outside. It's not a rumor that the queen has gone, so that's one of the reasons why I asked you to come. Zhou Badian frowned slightly and his face was dark. The cloud dances the Mao light to pass a doubt, tiny pick eyebrow. Why are you looking for me? Why did the queen come to her when she died? What do you mean? What are you doing with her? She didn't think that he came to her because he had evidence that she had killed the queen. The queen is dead, and the position of mother of a country is vacant. Yours heart is all on you. I want to take you as my daughter secretly. When the time is ripe, you will get married. In this way, it's a happy event for the Zhou dynasty. When Yuer ascends the throne, the position of mother of a country is also filled. Isn't it the best of both worlds? Zhou Badian finished, sipped a cup of tea, raised his eyes and looked at the cloud dance. His eyes were mild, and seemed to ask her what she meant. The darkness of his eyes was indisputable. What about Dragon 3? Cloud dance Zheng for a moment, the Mao light flits past a cold light, secretly sneer. Didn't he marry them both? Now back or cramp? The mother of a country? There are more than 1,000 women in the harem. Anyone who wants to be the mother of a country needs such a lot of trouble. After all, it's for the sake of the country of the Zhou dynasty, for the sake of completely tying her to the Zhou dynasty, for the sake of the country, not even the least face. It's also very hard, but she really did not expect that Zhou Badian would think of giving marriage. Long San has returned to the state of Long Su. That's the prince of Long San in the state of Long Su. He's no longer a member of the Zhou dynasty. Naturally, the daughter of the general of the Zhou dynasty can't get married with Long Su. What do you think? Zhou Badian glanced at the cloud dance with a gentle smile, but his eyes were extremely deep. The cloud dances the Mao light to pass a touch of meditation. This is to force her to choose between Zhou dynasty and Long Su Gua. It seems that the purpose of his calling her here is very obvious, that is to let her choose a position. If you choose him, Yunfu will recover her rights, and she will be promoted step by step. Choosing Long Shugua, Yunfu is in crisis, and she is in constant danger. In this position, she made a choice a long time ago, and now everything she does is for that choice. He wants the Cloud House crisis, and she is happy to see it succeed. I'm sorry that Yunwu can't obey. Thank you for your kindness. Yunwu has retired. Yunwu leaned slightly, didn't look at Zhou Badian, turned and left the room. He could almost imagine Zhou Badian's angry face when he heard her reply. What you don't get is ruined. Zhou's plan to dominate the world is either Yunfu or her. The cloud dances the Mao light to slightly where the fine on, hook the corner of mouth, all the way out drunk fairy building. Zhou Badian frowned and his eyes were dark and angry. He has guessed that Shuoyo was killed by Yunwu, but because there is no evidence, he can't do anything about her. Originally, if she agreed to play for the Zhou dynasty, it would be written off. Now it seems that Yunwu returns to Yunfu and sneaks directly into the forbidden area. If she wants to leave the Zhou dynasty and go to Longshu country, she should have no worries and protect Yunfu first. Yunwu came to the forbidden area, inspected the surrounding area, and dropped his eyes with a smile. When she first came to the forbidden area, she always thought it was very strange, but she didn't expect that after several times, she didn't feel much. Yes, she is no longer the weak fork. In the passage, she soared all the way over the cannibal vines in the forbidden area and went directly to the underground palace space where the red fire dragon was imprisoned. Just a space near the red fire dragon's nest. Cloud Dance felt a strong burning feeling, her mouth stained with a smile, into the space. At this time, the red fire dragon was sleeping in the open space beside the melting pool. The whole space in the hall was full of its purr. The cloud dances the corner of the mouth to stir up a smile, jump up in the air, dragonfly drops on the red fire dragon's back. Maybe it's because Cloud Dance's strength is greatly increased at the moment, and the hidden breath is too light, or maybe it's because Red Fire Dragon stays here all the year round, and its vigilance has declined. Anyway, the Red Fire Dragon didn't feel her existence at this time. Cloud Dance quietly a smile, blow fingers, a pinch on the Red Fire Dragon's ears. Ah, who dares to pinch my ear? In his sleep, the red fire dragon suddenly woke up with pain and screamed. But soon, suddenly, I felt someone around my neck and roared again. Who is it? Dare to ride on my neck? Get out of here! Cloud Dance looks at Red Fire Dragon's irascible temper and laughs, but it still doesn't come down. Red Fire Dragon angry, a howl, the whole space in a moment of turbulence. Who? I'm going to kill you. I hate people riding on my neck. Cloud Dance slapped on the red fire tap and said with a smile, I said, Brother Long, who will help you to untie the seal if you kill me? Red Fire Dragon is the voice of Cloud Dance. The voice of Fury suddenly stopped, constantly crazy swing body also stopped. Did he hear right? Is she really back? You finally came back to me. The Red Fire Dragon was stunned for a few moments and roared again. This time, however, it was not as tyrannical as the previous 2 times, and his body was no longer swinging back and forth. Cloud Dance Mao Guang Mi, stretch out palm, Pennsylvania G again gave him brain door sun once, cool way, I came back you still roar what roar? The Red Fire Dragon jumped up again. Slightly angry sound of the dragon once again sounded, hit my head, believe it or not, I ate you. Eat me? Cloud Dance Mao light tiny mi, a hand once again grasped Red Fire Dragon's ear, cold way, you a violent temper can really don't change, you eat me, eh? Red Fire Dragon Pain ZZ yelled, also did not just that crazy swing action, just angry roar, you dare to pull my ear. Cloud Dance mouth slightly yawned, floating down from the Red Fire Dragon body, hands around the chest of the coagulation Red Fire Dragon, lazy natural and unrestrained. Red Fire Dragon looked at the Cloud Dance, eyes suspicious. It can feel her calm breath, and when she first came in, it was totally earth-shaking. Your strength is Wuzun Red Fire Dragon some doubts of coagulate Cloud Dance, in the eye many one silk expectation and hope, but performance of a pair of don't believe appearance. She just left a few months, her strength broke through to Wuzun. How talented is this girl? Cloud Dance ignores it to query of vision, tiny jaw first way, otherwise you think I come to do what? Red Fire Dragon smell speech, look instant change, can't believe of looking at Cloud Dance, unexpectedly you now of strength already break through Wuzun, that you should be able to break this seal. There is a undercurrent in Yunwu's eyes. It should be okay to break it, but although my strength has reached Wuzun, I can do my best to help you open the prison now, but I need a contract agreement in exchange to break the Millennium imprisonment. Cloud Dance looking at Red Fire Dragon, lazy to pay attention to its surprised eyes, directly to the point said. Contractual agreement? The Red Fire Dragon takes back the surprised eyes and stares at the Cloud Dance for a long time. It seems to be thinking about the meaning of her words. Is it true or false? However, a moment later, Red Fire Dragon also restored that copy of the Master's most loser attitude. Tell me about the contractual agreement. I'll let you out of the forbidden area, and you'll protect Yunfu for 3 years to protect Yunfu from harm. Cloud Dance slightly droops eyes, the deep meaning of the eye ground is obvious, once Red Fire Dragon comes out, it must be a big turbulence. But no matter what, there is a contract agreement, within 3 years, Red Fire Dragon at least will not wantonly murder. What? Do you want me to guard Yunfu? The Red Fire Dragon's anger of killing his father's enemies resounded here. Reverberate in the space, constantly rejecting. Cloud Dance micro frown, glanced at Red Fire Dragon, not to guard Cloud House. As for the big reaction? It's your ancestors of the Cloud family who imprisoned me here. After hundreds of years of pain, you can understand that you still let me guard the Cloud House. I won't do it. The Red Fire Dragon's angry body completely turned into a flame, burning naked, and the burning sensation of the whole space suddenly increased. Cloud Dance raised a sneer at the corner of his mouth, and his eyes drooped slightly, it's quite moral. It was the summoner of Cloud House who released you. How do you calculate this? Red Fire Dragon listen, Zheng for a moment, roared again, no matter, anyway I don't do. Cloud Dance mouth corner sneer deepens unceasingly, congeals the red fire dragon's eyes. Yusen is unpredictable. Red fire dragon looked at her. Look at the moment, unexpectedly unconsciously had a creepy meaning. Step back. In this instant, it actually felt the fear to her. She half a ring. When did Uncle Ben give such advice? The red fire dragon howled and fell on the ground with a face of failure. He was afraid of son of a bitch, my reputation is ruined. Yunwoo also slightly raises her eyebrows. She didn't expect that the red fire dragon would be afraid. Maybe it was because of her fear of the summoner. She raised a smile at the corner of her mouth, glanced at the sad red fire dragon, her figure suddenly glanced. You have agreed, then, so happily decided. Before the red fire dragon could react, Cloud Dance was already in the air, and the light of the summoner suddenly appeared. The space is strange, a tremor seems to echo the Millennium Imprisonment contract. Red fire dragon at this moment, a shiver in the bottom of his heart, seems to be in the force of the imprisonment, and the pressure of breathing. Damn it! Even if hundreds of years have passed, the Millennium contract set by Cloud World still has such a strong force. When Yunwoo felt that breath, it was also a little surprised. Is this the power of the summoner of the ancestors of the Cloud family? Yunwoo knows that her ability is not enough for her ancestors. However, the contract was established hundreds of years ago, and the residual strength of the contract has been weakened. Ancestors, if they don't have to, as descendants of the Cloud family, they won't do it by force. Please don't blame them. After Yunwoo said this, the contract formation suddenly came out of the body. The summoner's contract array responded to each other. A net-like contract array appeared on the palace. That is the contract array of the ancestors of the Cloud family. Cloud Dance looked at the contract array in the air, and was surprised. However, Yunwoo didn't hesitate to cover her contract array for the first time. If you want to get rid of it, it can only be replaced by another more powerful contract matrix. The bottom of Cloud Dance's heart has already been there. It's ready to fight. However, the next scene was unexpected. Just as her contract array was about to cover the contract array left by her ancestors, there was a soft light in the contract array. Not only did not resist the Cloud Dance that covers the contract array, on the contrary, slowly fusion. What's going on? There was a flash of surprise in Yunwoo's eyes. However, just when Yunwoo was stunned, a ray of light shot out from the array and wrapped Yunwoo in a moment. The light cuts off the outside world. The Cloud family finally reappeared. The summoner. After so many years of waiting, he finally came. It was a strong and clear voice, as if it came from a distant place. Cloud Dance Aleng. Cloud World. This red fire dragon is the 8th son of the Dragon King. He is violent in nature. He had to be imprisoned at that time. Today's human world can't be the enemy of the dragon family. Therefore, when you let him go, you must make an agreement with him. You must never hurt the Cloud family. Set up an agreement. She had thought of this for a long time, but Yunwoo was curious about the source of the sound. Is that what Yun Tianxiao left before he died? Or, he's not dead, he's talking to her somewhere. Because the body is wrapped by the light, what the clouds see in front of them is just a vast expanse of white. Are you the ancestor of the Cloud family? Are you living or dying now? Cloud Dance in the end or can't help but ask. After a while, the voice seemed to come with a smile. Girl, life and death are just the rules of the world. Why care? Remember, the Cloud family will depend on you in the future. See, that words of fall, wrap in the light of Cloud Dance body instantly disappeared. But, that last sentence, actually unceasingly reverberates in the Cloud Dance mind. The future of the Cloud family depends on her. Does the ancestor of the Cloud family think highly of her? However, the contract in the air has been integrated. The Millennium Imprisonment contract is so simple to be lifted. To tell you the truth, Yunwoo also thinks it's a little irrelevant. However, Yunwoo took the opportunity to set up a 3-year contract agreement in the name of the summoner and a short contract with the Red Fire Dragon. You're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.